What's going on, listeners? Did you miss us? Because we're back.
I did. Hey. Hello, everyone.
It's Celestia Radio Podcast back on the air. And you might hear some difference in the quality now, and we might talk about that a little bit in a minute. But suffice it to say, when we say we're live on the air, we are very much live on the air. It is your host, Matthias, here as usual. How's everybody doing? And I am joined with my co-hosts, the best in the world. Take it away, Nat and Dalit. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you missed us because we missed you, all right?
It is good to be back. Lord knows it's been an additional, 6 months since since we thought we were coming back.
Yeah,
and then life got in the way.
Seven.
Life very much got in the way.
Yeah. We had a grand return planned for season 2. That as you can tell,
sure did, actually.
As you can tell, 7 months later, we didn't get to do.
Yeah, so instead of 52 episodes a year, for this year it's going to be 20, if that.
I think our format now is we're just gonna go. We're not gonna contain ourselves to any number of episodes. We're gonna go until season 2 is gonna be probably the longest season this podcast will ever have, because it's probably just gonna go until we get to a point where we actually feel the need to upgrade in some meaningful way.
Yeah.
So, and that in that end, hey listeners, you can expect to hear content from us, for a while on many things. You get to hear us ramble a lot, which I'm assuming is why you all are here, because you like to hear us ramble.
Yep.
I mean, lucky for you, we won't shut the fuck up, so.
It's true. Dalit wishes I would sometimes if you look at our DMs.
Professional yappers, oh man. And sometimes that weapon is pointed right back at you.
It's one of those things. We love to talk about the things we love to talk about, and that's mostly video games, but there's other things we enjoy. We recorded our last episode of season 1. It was back in it was the end of October, middle of November, I think. It was
it would have been the very beginning of November at the latest, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think beginning of November.
Because we had a month half long break because of holidays and work and all that.
Just so.
Yeah, that was the intent. Was for holidays and everything that was going on, take a break. And our episodes kept coming out into, I think, the second week of December. I'd have to go look at the actual release date for 52. But yeah, so we had it really planned out. We had did our last recording there at the beginning of November. We had this really fun, really enjoyable meeting where we kind of decided, what are we going to do for season 2? What are we going to do to kind of change things up? And we had a plan in the works. It was really cool. And then life, happened. Life is a thing. Nat had to move.
Life.
Right? That kicked in there.
I had to move.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I thought that was more onto that, but yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
I mean, no, you're good. So Nat had to move. This is also on top of all the holiday stuff around that time period, right? Which is why we were taking a break.
Yeah.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Busy. But yeah, Nat had to move. Dalit had taken up a new job, I believe it was. That's when you started the new job, right? Yeah. Yeah, so Dalit started up a new job.
2 fucking jobs. God damn.
Yeah, two jobs. And I began the hiring process for the job I currently have. So yeah, what we thought was just going to be, month and a half, at most 2-month break, ended up being much, much longer than that. Here it is, July 2nd as of broadcast. And yeah, it was crazy. My job was my job is still very busy, but it has allowed me. I've gotten into the rhythm of it, and I have the flexibility with it now to be able to do this.
Yep.
And then Nat's settled back in. Oh, and we also should mention that, in the midst of all that, Nat's computer completely died, and he had to basically rebuild it.
You want to walk us through that, Nat?
So I got completely fucked in the ass. So there was a cyclone that was happening here in Australia called... I forgot what it's called, but there was a cyclone that happened. It hits not where I am, but kind of close by, so I was getting affected by it. That being said, it wasn't until like 2-3 days into the cyclone until we finally got like power outage and all that. It was like 4 days of just no power. So I have no idea if my computer was working or not. Once we finally get power, whoopsie daisy, my computer doesn't work. And so I've been...
What was the initial issue you were having? Because I remember you mentioning it and me thinking, oh, well, that's fixable. And then slowly but surely, over time, realizing, oh, it's not, though.
What was it? Just my PC randomly crashing, which turned out to be thermal throttling. But
yeah, that's right. It was just blue screening.
Yeah, but also something that was like sort of hidden was actually my RAM having problems. Like at first it was thermal throttling, and then it just became an issue with my RAM. But I didn't think my RAM was the issue, so I've been replacing motherboards and CPUs, thinking that would fix it, and it didn't. So I was like, what else? And then eventually, I took it to a friend's place, and he's like, he couldn't get my PC to work, so he's like, okay, it's either CPU, motherboard, or RAM. And because I've recently replaced the CPU and motherboard, process of elimination, I replaced my RAM, and now all of a sudden my PC works. So yeah,
that checks out. I mean, you were thermal throttling, so you got rid of the initial problem, which was getting that CPU temp down, which I believe you fixed just by getting a new CPU and
new CPU cooler.
So yeah, it makes sense that the only other issue would be RAM. It would have taken me a second to figure out what it was, though, because in my head, a RAM issue usually leads to a boot issue, not so much a crash issue. At least in my
experience, that's how that works normally.
Yeah, in my limited experiences with RAM issues, thank goodness. But hey, happy to see it got figured out.
And now I know for next time that whenever like it's not even a blue screen, it's just immediate black screen, and then my PC boots up. Once that happens, I'm like, okay, it's a RAM thing or thermal throttling. But yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So I spent quite a bit of money that I'm not proud of, and but eventually I got there.
Well, I mean,
it's a whole ass mode.
When it comes to building and repairing PCs, that's usually the mood.
Yeah, and this ordeal, I was like without PC, like a proper PC. I was borrowing my mother's laptop just to keep me entertained for like a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, so, you were down for a bit. It was crazy.
I was. Yeah.
It was weird because while like we haven't had the podcast, like obviously the three of us are still talking all the time in Discord through text and stuff, but like I hadn't. It was like a month, 2 months where I barely had any interaction with Nat because he wasn't around all that much on Discord to talk in text or in voice or anything. So it was a really surreal moment where I was just like, man, it's really weird not talking to one of you two for this long, because I'm always talking to the two of you specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was whoa. And then when you got it fixed, it was like, oh god, you're back. Thank you.
Oh, trust me, I was thankful to be back as well because, oh yeah, that laptop, man. Boomers and technology, they just don't understand.
It's funny you say that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, though. I just don't want a laptop to begin with. It's super useful, and I could actually genuinely use one where I am. I prefer a desktop.
I mean, I prefer a desktop
absolutely.
too. Yeah. I have to use a laptop for work because I have a laptop for work.
Right.
And I'm fine with using it. My problem is it's one monitor, and I really could use more. Now, work is supposed to be supplying more of those, but they're having troubles with because they have to be like a company standard or whatever, and they're the ones that they normally get are like out of stock, so we're having to wait for them to like restock so that they can order more. Or if they don't restock them, just deliberate and decide a new one or something. And if that's how it works, I'm not super sure. The other issue is as I hate trackpads. I want a mouse and I need a mouse.
It's awful.
Well, that seems like a pretty simple fix, right? Or do you need...
I can just plug in a USB mouse, like just fine.
I was checking, okay.
Yeah, but like I only have the one that's on my desktop.
Fair.
And work said they will supply me with one, but they're waiting until they get the monitors and everything and can ship me everything at once, which I'm hoping is soon because I need a better headset to use considering I answer calls at work than the one I'm using. But yeah, that would be nice. But it's funny you said the boomer joke with technology. I mentioned
they just don't understand it.
They don't. I mentioned in the pre-show that my computer is on its last legs, and I think I was talking to Dalit about this the other day.
Certainly work.
Hopefully, like mid-November, I'm gonna build a completely new computer. Like ground up, brand spanking new, as top of the line as I can possibly get it, so it lasts for another 10 plus years like this one has. But this one that I'm currently using, what's going to happen to it is essentially I'm going to factory reset it, and I'm going to hand it off. I'm going to hand it off to my mother to use because she has a my stepdad built her a like basically her own little shop that's like right out back attached to the house for her to do all of the things that she enjoys doing, and she's been using a laptop for like printing and stuff out there, but it's like a really old laptop, and she's been trying to find like a decent one to replace it with, and it's just like...
But you're just like, no, just mother, stop it.
It's just like the price for... Because she's trying to go cheap for it, understandably, because she's not using it for a whole lot. But it's like the things that she is would be getting for these prices, while some of them aren't bad, it's just like they're so like I know they're going to give her issues and she's going to get aggravated with it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, wait till I build my new computer. I'll reset my old one and I'll put it out there for you. It's seen better days, but for everything she's doing, it should be more than capable enough, and I think she'll have no issues with it. So
yeah.
But yeah, so it was one of those. Yeah, that was one of those things, and then.
Yeah.
Glad your computer's back up and running. You've been killing it with the streaming. It's very, very fun.
Thank you.
Hanging out and watching your streams.
Yeah.
Swamped with work. Right there with you, brother. I understood that.
Yeah. Oh boy. That was an exciting time.
Fun.
I mean, really, to be fair, maybe I didn't enjoy what I was doing. It was convenient. It was expensive to get there, but they were paying me enough to offset the travel and very little else. Don't move too hard. I was still working in the city. It was still expensive. They offset the commute. They didn't offset anything else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was fine. My hours were abysmal. There were days where I'd go in at like 2 and leave at 10, wouldn't get home till almost 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And then have to go for 9 a.m. the next day. So,
good Lord.
Get home, take a nap, wake up, go back to work. Once you get into that cycle, it gets real miserable really fast.
Oh yeah,
It does. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter how much you love it. If you don't get the time to breathe, you're going to hate what you do.
Yeah.
And that was essentially November to January, February, March, I guess.
It was about March.
And then it did slow down. Yeah, then it slowed down, and I was able to breathe a bit, which was nice.
It's funny,
but I mean, at the end of the day, it was just like Matt said, it was just work, just a lot of it, so much of it.
Yeah,
it's funny because like there was those couple of months where I would like send Dalit a message, and then it was he'd respond, of course, but it might be a day or two later. It was a very delayed response because he was man was on the grind. He was swamped. He was.
It did.
It was tired.
And it's a miracle that I was giving you those responses back, because oftentimes what would happen is I'd either see it at work and be unable to respond, or see it when I got home and I'd say, "I'll just get back to him in the."
Yeah.
I would just fall asleep, and like I would either at that point it's a coin flip. Do I remember or not?
Yeah. Which I completely relate to. Don't worry. Yeah. It's funny the timing of that, because you were like that until about March, like you said, and it's like right as you were coming back to having time to like communicate regularly and whatnot is when Nat's computer started to go through that downward.
Oh
yeah.
It's awful.
And then my work was, the hiring process ended up taking longer than I really would have liked, and that.
Yeah, they gave you like what, 2 interviews, was it?
It was 2 interviews. There was like scheduling. So the hiring process started at the end of November. It was after we had already like kind of had our what were we going to do for season 2 thing, but at the same time I was like, no, it's not going to be that big a deal. I'll be able to adjust in time. Because the hiring process started at the end of November. I was like, plenty of time to adjust, right?
Yeah.
But it was there was like some complications with like what the owner was having to do with the company and whatnot, and so it was just kind of a like so I heard about the job and found out about the job through my cousin that worked there, and he gave me the heads up, sent my resume in for me and all that, and essentially like the owner was just like, hey, tell your cousin I'm still interested. I'm just too swamped with the holidays and stuff. We'll worry about this in the new year. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And so I got that message, mid-December, because I'd been wondering what had happened. It'd been about 2 weeks at this point. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. Well, I didn't hear anything back until like the 3rd or 4th week of January, which at that point I'd already started trying to make plans for something else, and then I finally started to hear something. And then it was first interview and second interview. First interview was good. That was, they got back to me like finally right there at the end of the January, and then scheduled the first interview, had the first interview, and it was like, all right, cool, we're going to have a second interview. I'll come to find out after the fact. I had gotten the job after the first interview.
The
second interview was like procedure or something from what I was told.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, but the problem was, because of scheduling conflicts with clients and everything else, that second interview just took like a month and a half to actually get to.
Oh, fun.
So I finally started the job at the end of March, I think, is when I finally started.
So you're employed, but you didn't start work till like a month and a half into it.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it was a process that started at the end of November, didn't really come into fruition until the end of March. And then after that, it was just learning the job, and then I've had my schedule switched around on me several times, which is another thing I was kind of hoping would even out, and I think it has evened out to this point. Like the general gist of the days they want me to work has been the same, even if the shift is a little different. But man, they had me on some weird ones there for a little bit. It was like 3 or 4 weeks. It was I was working 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. 2 days in a row, and then I was working 2 p.m. to midnight the next 2 days, and then I was working like 11 to 7 or something like that, that fifth day. And it was just like, any of those shifts aren't bad per se by themselves, but the up and down, back and forth without any time to adjust in between was... I was so tired.
That's absolutely horrendous for your health.
I was so tired.
So we understand. That's such a bad schedule for anyone's health. Sure, people will tell you being up all night's bad for your health. No, some of us are actually just built that way. It's fine.
And your body can adapt to it.
Yeah, exactly. But to go from essentially 8 hours overnight to it sounds like what is your Wednesday, quote unquote, that middle of the week, where it switches from the 8 a.m. off time to, God, what was it? Did you say 8 a.m. start to
so it was 2 in the afternoon to midnight.
One of those days you're only getting 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
and that's if you go to sleep the minute you're finished and wake up the minute you go to work.
Yeah, well,
that's not happening.
So here's the extra wild part, right? So for me, basically, my Monday is technically Thursday because my days off are Tuesday and Wednesday. So this all started on Thursday. So it was basically Wednesday night at midnight, Thursday at midnight, but you get what I mean. The midnight to 8 a.m. would start there and then go on. But in the middle of all that, it overlaps with Sunday, and I have obligations on Sunday morning.
That's true.
Which means I'm working to midnight Saturday, and then having to get up, and you can say you get off work and go right to bed because working from home, right? You can say you get off and go right to bed as much as you want. There is a cool down period where you might be trying to go to bed, but you're not asleep. And I'm getting up between 5 and 6 on Sunday mornings. So I'm getting maybe 4 hours of sleep. Some of those Sundays. It was
it seems absolutely miserable.
It was rough. It was rough.
I bet it was.
I didn't hate it because the shifts weren't difficult. Nothing's happening at those hours. But I did there at the end. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, it's really weird because I've been they spent that time training me, and I was getting the hang of this job, but now I'm working this schedule where I'm not actually really getting to do it because I'm working the dead hours, and I'm kind of forgetting how to do some stuff. And I'm like, I don't like that. And I was just at the point where I'm like, I might need to mention something to my boss about maybe switching the days this works so I can maybe actually do something. And then they switched me back before I ever had needed to say anything. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm actually, so I'm actually doing the job again. I was really nervous there for a second, but yeah. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's evened out now. And even when that was the thing, like I said, the days, it's just the times that have been really wonky and trying to adjust. And I've gotten a flow to it. Like I said, Tuesday and Wednesday is days off, and I'm evened out. I'm able to plan around it for the most part. It's weird because I a lot of times I end up working from middle of the day through the nights. So, I'm there, during the latter half of the day and then some of the night, but it's time for me to actually, be there when there's work going on and things like that. But, and it's not bad. It does make planning things locally very hard. Like if I want to, go get a bite to eat with, my sister or, cousin, or take my nephew out to eat or something, right? That's a lot harder to do with this schedule. But for planning things with you guys or any of my friends that I've been friends with for 10 plus years, playing games and whatnot, that's easy. So
we're all flexible anyway, so
yeah,
that adds a nice little bonus to it.
It does. It just makes doing things locally very difficult, which I'm seeing with this upcoming weekend. Because I have a cousin coming into town, and I'm like, I haven't seen this cousin in 13 years. Holy crap. I want to hang out. But I'm like, I work. Hey, you can come see me. We can't really do anything, but I'd really like to see you. So, but that is what it is. That's life. And it's cool. I do enjoy my job. It is interesting. So.
Yeah, exactly right.
You've been studying.
I have been studying. My new job is a cybersecurity job for our listeners, so that they understand that. That's the general category it falls under, and so I'm having to do some extra certifications and stuff for that. So I've been studying for it, and I was procrastinating it really bad, and then a fire was lit, and so now I'm on top of it. I would say I spent. So I've gotten into this habit when I have downtime at work, when nothing's like coming in, there's nothing to do. I'm studying, and I did so much of that this last Monday. My brain was just like mush at the end of it.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it was. I've learned that I know a lot of this stuff already. It's just
reaffirming.
So
refreshing helps.
Refreshments
help a lot, and then being able to get the practice in, like the reps in on using the terminology, or at least just running through the procedure. It does a lot to just make you mindlessly competent at a thing.
Right. So something I've learned with IT, cybersecurity, that entire field. I know a lot about it just from being, tangentially like in it for so long. I'm terrible at talking shop. Not necessarily because I don't even know the terms. I'm just bad at remembering the terms.
Sure.
It doesn't help that there's so many acronyms in this field. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I do have a friend that also works in this field who's really good at talking shop. Younger than me, very smart guy. And I will not hesitate to say like he knows this stuff way better than me. I am not shy to admit that. Like he's brilliant dude. He's really good at talking shop. So every time I get a chance and I'm around, like I let him talk shop with me because I'm trying to pick up on it. I'm trying, and I think he sees that. So he does always continue to talk with me. Like earlier today, I was talking with him and we were talking about setting up a wireless network thing, and I was like, yeah, okay. I was just actually studying some of this earlier this week. I know these terms. I know what we're talking about.
Right.
It's fun stuff. I it's interesting stuff. I can see why a younger me didn't pick this as a career path, of course, because it doesn't seem interesting at the time, I guess. But definitely now in this way, it is interesting. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But no, so things finally, we've all been through a hectic 9-month max. I'm gonna say 9-month max because it's in that range.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
After all that hecticness, it was, to me, the thought process, really started to kick in the back of my head, like, oh, hey, maybe we can come back to doing this when we were all hanging out watching SGF together for Nat's stream.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the first time, like, the three of us were in a call together, at least. Because I've been in the call with both of you, several times over all that period of time. But all three of us together in a call, I think that was the first time since
it's true, yeah.
Our last recording.
I've spoken to both of you separately several times. But we all three of us hadn't been in a call.
We kind of did a slight impromptu podcast episode that wasn't an episode.
Yeah, there was a fun little, you had to be there moment for Celestia Radio, where if you were watching that, coverage stream of SGF, you got to hear the three of us react and talk about stuff, and we also had some friends with us hanging out and reacting and talking about stuff. It was really fun. But guys, we're catching up, and as much as we love to talk about this stuff, I know we're known for video games. That's the majority of what our episodes are.
See, for you guys, but not for me. What I need to catch up on is some fucking sleep, honestly. I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
I feel that on an emotional, spiritual level.
I mean, to be fair, we're all tired. We're all tired here, but yeah.
But yeah, we're known for video games, right? That's what we mainly talk about here at Celestia Radio.
I mean, not me. I mostly talk about books and you know. The
Oh yeah. All right. What's the last book you read, Nat?
The last book I have actually read from start to finish. I think it was in my teenage years, and it was about.
Oh, damn. I was not expecting it to be this far back.
I was 100% expecting this.
I think it was about. Pretty much think of Twilight, but reverse. So it was a male MC with you know, a female vampire MC.
I think I know this book series actually. I just can't remember the name.
Oh
of it.
no!
But I think I know.
Like it's unironic. I don't remember what it's fucking called, but yeah, I enjoyed it because you know it was a hot goth vampire chick.
Keep it classy. Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling that was the case.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be much more recent.
I mean, if we counting like, you know, Persona 5, because that is just a fucking visual novel.
So you're not wrong, and you should keep saying that, because I keep saying that, and people don't like it when I say it.
Bro, there's no fucking gameplay till like after 10 hours of the game. Like, come on.
All right. I don't say that, though, but you're still right. I just don't like... I'm not sure that I can back that second half. But no, to Matt's point, like we've had 8-9 months of gaming when and wherever we could, and Lord knows, as quiet a year as it's felt, there have been games. So
yeah, all of the big games, all right.
What you been getting into trouble with?
Personally, I've got like a whole bunch, but I'm just gonna list off like the main three. Expedition 33.
Too right.
Still haven't finished it. But
I won't say a word.
I've recently picked up Persona 5, The Phantom X, and
the both of you is.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
Persona games exist. Why are you gotchaing to yourself? Why are you doing this to yourselves?
Dude, I have no idea. I really have no idea.
They're about to put out a remake of 4. Just play 3 and 5 again.
I don't know why.
By the time you finish, 4 will come out.
So I have a potential answer to this, but what's that third game, by the way, before we completely
go ahead, sorry.
There's a whole bunch, but I'm just going to say I recently bought... I know this is hard to believe, listeners, but I actually recently purchased Dark Souls Remastered. So, yeah, I've been playing that.
What, you play a Dark Souls game? What, never?
I was surprised when he told me he didn't actually own that already. I was like, wait, you didn't own that?
No, because I had prepared to... No, because it was like...
No, he had the original. He was like me.
Yeah, I have the Prepare to Die edition, but, like, I also kind of miss, you know, the online connectivity of the game, which was, you know, a huge thing in one. So, you know, I bought the remastered, and, yeah.
So... I have an argument for this P5X thing, right?
Yep.
Why is it just not P6?
Okay, well, it's not P6 because it's literally set at the same time as P5, and that's just
as P5. Yeah, no, this is not a sequel.
Yeah, but you can literally just be like, yeah, this is just a couple years after P5. It's just still set in like Shibuya and Jurgen Giant and all that shit.
But yes, but then you don't want to do the same like theme and setting again when you're making a next installment. So there's a lot of reasons it's not P6. But as for why play this over like P5,
well, to me, let me hear it.
When you've played Persona 5 so many times, you just want and like you really like Persona 5 because I mean I love Persona 5, but you played it so many times. You just want you want something a little different to make it a little different, make it, you know, change it up a little bit, right? So it does that, you know, I guess I shouldn't say a semi-meaningful way because it does feel fairly unique at times. So
at times there's quite a lot of, hey, the MC is the MC of Persona 5. He's pretty much the same guy. Hey, that chick, she's just like Ryuji.
No, stop saying that.
Right, Matt.
All right, so here I will grant you that it like I definitely feel having this thing you like and just getting more of it. I mean,
yeah,
I could eat a lot of chocolate, so
well,
fair play.
It's not even just. It's not.
It's
even
a
just,
shame. Good.
It's not even just the. It's a thing I like that I'm getting more of. It's just I've played through Persona 5 enough times that I've done every romance route for.
Holy shit!
Not every romance route, period, but for every romance route in the Phantom and Thief crew.
Yeah, for like the main cast.
Yeah, and I think maybe one or two outside of that as well.
Right.
So almost every route that's in the game
is right there. I don't care how illegally it is. I am not 17 years old. She's the only character that is actually appealing.
But
as an adult, I wish to bag the adult.
It's just I've played through Persona 5 many times, and it's a great game, and I really, really love it. But even playing through it many times, it's the same game every time.
No, for sure. Like, and honestly, I say this, and I'm actually happy to hear.
P5X is the same fucking thing. They literally have the exact same plot for the owl guy as for Morgana. He's like, yeah,
okay, well,
I know
I haven't got
about
to that.
Phantom Thieves and the palaces. Oh, how do you know that? I don't know. I don't have any fucking memories. And I'm just like, oh, so we're just using the Morgana plot line for this character.
So
as well.
that said,
oh, fuck me dead.
I've heard plenty of people talk about the writing not being the strength of this game. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah, like Matthew was saying, if this game is just more of the game, that's fine. Like, I play fighting games. We have the same game for like 10 years at a time, with like slight variation. I know what it means to have something you like and just to want more of it. One of the things on my list covers that, and I guess we'll get there. So like, I'm going to continue to give P5X crap, but know that it's not. I'm not being serious. I would have just rather to see. I would have just rather to see P6.
Well, I mean, in that regard, it's not getting in the way of P6 because it's not even an Atlas team that's made it. So
yeah.
But it's
CN team.
It's one of those things that
Black Wings.
There are a lot of story similarities that are the same. I'll give you that. Like, I don't know about that.
And
about Lufel to Morgana. You've done more of the story than I have, as we've established. And I'm not really looking at this story for something wholly unique. I'm just looking for something a little bit different. And it is a little bit different. Like, the interactions are different. The characters might have some similarities, but they are different. Well,
yes. Like, when I was complaining about how Arai is similar to Ryuji, I'm not saying she's one for one, but it's definitely a fucking wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's like, hey... She's got similarities as Ryuji.
I mean, the similarities you're going off of are the same similarities that every, right hand has had just about it.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Like there really isn't a lot of deviation with those right hand people.
Right. All right. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, I just... No, I agree. Like, I wasn't expecting... Like, going in, I wasn't expecting, oh, this is going to be just completely new story, just whatsoever. No, because its title's called Persona 5. So
okay. That, I will push back on. I expected this to be a story of people who were, like, influenced, and this was happening long after the fact, and it was a case of, well... Technically, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't think I actually ever beat 5. I might have, but that was the base game when it first came out. I don't remember.
Right.
Their big evil isn't something that they could just stop. Like, this is just the greed in people's hearts are going to continue happening. You can continue to have palaces, and you can continue to have what is
Metaverse.
the not Tartarus? Metaverse. Thank you. Mementos, correct.
Yeah.
So like it made sense that like this as a feature. So yeah, you could have a secondary group here, but like,
so
when I said the writing was weird, I meant that more literally than not. Literally hearing the guy who just goes around shouldering people onto the tracks
The subway slammer
did nothing for me. I was like, I will grant you this is a real issue being faced, at least in the US right now. But guys,
I think
what is this writing?
So
yeah,
I had the same thought as Dalit when I first heard about this game ages ago, when it was coming out in China. But but by the time we were getting it, I already knew that wasn't the case. So
yeah, right. I mean, look, we've had games like mentally like this. When every game needed to have an MMO attached to it, we had a lot of you're just like the game that this is based on, except you're not, and you're doing things tangential to it, or nearby, blah blah blah. So I was expecting something like that, and I was expecting that the writing probably wouldn't be quite as strong. Not because it's made in China. The last 2 Chinese games I played were astounding, frankly. But mostly just because I remember how I remember seeing this game first came out. I'm like, no, I know why you exist.
So me and Nat had this conversation yesterday, I think, when he was streaming it. The word on the street. Let's use that terminology. The word on the street is that first palace, that first story arc, very, very weak, very, very lame. It picks up from there.
Yeah.
And to me,
apparently that's the general consensus.
Yeah. To me, that's like, okay, that's par for the course. This is a gacha game. I've never played a gacha game that has that
I was going to bring this up.
That has that great of a start. And
I was going to counter Matt with like with like a Honkai Star Rail, but like
even that was
that
was pretty weak. Like all things, I didn't really get sold into that story for a while. I'm sold into it now though. If you were here for the pre-show, you know that. But it's one of those things like, I wasn't expecting a strong start, and they really did just kind of one for one a lot of Persona 5's opening for this opening, and just tried to make it different but not, and it's really weak. It's really bad. But I think, that aside, I'm hoping the story does pick up like people say it does. I
hope so as well, because boy or fucking boy.
I think the game itself is honestly quite fun.
It is.
I've got like
Persona
some.
Does lend itself to this medium pretty well, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
So the main character, and I think I was saying this to Dalit, maybe. The main character plays like a Persona character from the game. It's the rest of your team that is under the gacha rules, essentially.
Yes, pretty much.
So
which is an interesting concept. Like the MC is completely taken out of the gacha.
Yeah, it's
like there's nothing that influences. Like, you can technically get personas from the gacha itself, but like it's like just a minute thing. It just doesn't matter.
It's only the low star ones too, which I think you can also get from like fighting them in Mementos.
Yeah, and in order to get the better stuff, you gotta play the game like as if it was an actual Persona game. So you go like, Persona Fusion and all that.
Yeah, and then now the rest of your team. Yeah, the rest of your team is your that gotchas where it comes in as to the rest of your team. But the cool thing about it being the setting that it is you have this really wide, variety of people that, join you in this fight, from fellow students to like actual adults. One of the characters that's out in China that we haven't actually got yet is literally an old lady. Like she is like in her 80s, and she's like rocking up with a Persona to fight, and it's hilarious.
Really?
I approve so hard.
It's so cool.
My biggest gripe with Persona for ages, since probably the first few offshoots from 4, because 3 and 4 is like sure. There's no reason that they need to be teenagers, and I've heard every excuse that people make for it. No, you struggle with self-image all throughout your life. There's no reason for it to end at like age 18. So, hell yeah, I'm here for Baba coming in, whipping around whatever weapon she has, and summoning personas.
So it's actually kind of funny you say that, Dollar, because the way that the big evil is affecting people, it affects everyone, and that's like, you know, the like motivation of life, or the like lack of motivation for life. So this could unironically be taking place in the college, university, and it, like, the story just wouldn't change at all, but like, you know, just the place for
yeah,
it.
it's a very like
I'm gonna let you know something, and people have argued with me, and I will stand my ground on this. You could change any of the games after 2, because I would need to replay 1 and 2 to be sure, but I'm pretty sure you could take any Persona game, put it in college, and nothing changed.
For the most part, no.
Except maybe you have less of a reason to be asleep at a certain time,
because you are technically, you know, in the, you know, the fucking the backlands, you know, inlands and all that shit.
But no, even then, I mean, like, if you need a reason to have someone off the street, I guess that doesn't work for 4. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up Joker with.
Yeah, no. So for 4, I think
3 and 4, 3 and 5, you can be like, yeah, college and it'll work. But 4, it's because you're in the country and all that.
I don't
care if it happens at college. My point is age.
You want it to be above 18,
I would like to be able. Well, I mean, yes, but I would like to be able to gravitate towards, and this is a bigger issue than just Persona. I'd like to be able to gravitate towards RPG characters again, but they all seem to be fucking 18. Sorry, like, yeah, 18 or younger. Yeah. I think the oldest one in Final Fantasy, well, it's Clive, but that's an action game. Before him was what?
Lightning? Cloud?
No, Light's older than Cloud.
Light's definitely older than Cloud. She's 23, I think.
And Cloud might actually be at the time was like 21.
No, Fang is older than
okay.
Light,
okay, to be fair though, but like that's because of like crystallization bullshit.
Yeah, regardless, my point is like just having these older characters. I find it bizarre that the game about having a shorter lifespan has the oldest on average cast I've ever seen in a JRPG. I know it's not technically a JRPG because France, but it's what it's aping.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that expedition is full of a bunch of 30-year-olds. Baffles me. Like, this is the one game where you could have told me, they start off at 17 because they only have so many years to get this done. And they're like, nah, they're all 33 except for one, and they have a year to do it, otherwise they die. Mm-hmm. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, it's no surprise. Like, it's that's a thing in anime, right? Like, Japan loves this high school setting,
and that's what it is. Yeah, and I've people always tell me the reason why after high school you get to college where you're just stressed the whole time, and then you become a part of the workforce where you are miserable, stressed until you die.
Yeah.
But I all the more reason for your fantasy stories to be about adults succeeding.
I think the problem is the people that are writing these stories don't know how to make that into a compelling story because their only experience with that is themselves in a lot of situations, and they may not think their story is compelling. But with P5X, there's a variety to the Phantoms. You got
to the cost,
you got the 20-year-olds. There's a 30-year-old. There's a 40-year-old.
And there's a literally Garu Hag in the game, and I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah, there's
Black Wings.
There's your like next door neighbor auntie, that you grew up with is one of the people that can join you, but when she comes into the metaverse, she's her like 17-year-old self who was like Yaru-fied, looks nothing like
she didn't de-age, right? Like, I want to make that clear. She didn't de-age, but like, just think of a Garu, but in her 30s.
It's so funny. One thing I'll give.
Okay, wait, hold on. As the resident, I'm not the only 30-year-old. As the resident old guy of the group, I don't appreciate 30 being considered like old and haggish. I know why you say it. I have learned this terminology.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it took me a while to believe that was actually true, and you weren't just like actually bullshitting me. But I'm gonna need this terminology to change. It is affecting my self-confidence.
What was
Charlotte, we got rid of that ages ago. Come on, man, join the club.
Oh no. My confidence was unshakable. Until
you're a silver fox, dollar.
Kindly don't remind me how many white hairs I have. My confidence is just in free fall now.
It's no longer salt and pepper.
Have you ever noticed that art piece you have as your Fugi has like a little bit of white at the bottom of the beard?
You know, I did. Thank you.
just wondering. Look.
Thank you.
So one thing about P5X, because for the most part the gameplay is like a Persona game, like in terms of like the actual gameplay, right?
Right. Right.
One of the only quips I have, one of the only quips I have is there's very few Personas that actually get a full like equipment or like skill list, like they have all their slots unlocked for them. It kind of bugs me a little bit, but that's just me.
Wait, sorry, what?
Like there's only like a handful of Personas that actually have like all of their like skill slots able to assign a skill to.
Right, yeah, gotcha.
And that just bugs me. That's kind of more of an OCD thing, I think, because it just they're still there even though you can't equip them anything in those slots. And I'm just like, why are they there? Why are you showing me this? But it's
also.
Go ahead.
No, go on. No, you go.
One of the things they did in this that is a little different from the standard gameplay formula is how your what are they called?
Navigators are actually fucking
your navigators work in this one.
I was literally just about to bring that up. Matt.
It's so because we agree on this. And I think we were talking about it yesterday. It's so cool. So, Dalit, you've played these games at least enough to know how the navigators work. They're usually there. They give you information about the enemies. They have like dialogue during combat, and
they give you buffs every now and again.
Randomly, every now and then, they might give you a buff.
Yeah, but navigators in this game is actually a playable fifth fucking character, and it's great.
Yeah, they basically function like a fifth character, where at any point on any character's turn, you can click the button for your navigator, and your navigator has a list of like buffs or skills that they do. And you can select the skill that they do, and then the navigator goes on a cooldown, right? And then when their cooldown's up at any point, you can pull them back out and do a skill again. That makes them feel a lot more a part of the team and a lot more active in the actual combat. Like the story always treated them like they were doing, but they never actually did anything in the game.
Yeah. And they also don't count for turn usages, which is nice for the strict turns for like certain challenges.
Yeah, if you're doing the Highlands challenge stuff, it's a really really cool feature that I'm just like, how is it? As many Personas as we've had at this point of release and then remaster, or release and then definitive edition and then remaster, of how many Personas at this point where we've had these navigators and you're only doing this just now.
NPCs.
Yeah, only doing this just now with the gacha game. This is an amazing idea.
Like, you know how you always complain, Dolan, about how like in Final Fantasy IX you just want the choice of whenever you
just let me trance.
Yes,
it becomes a 9 out of 10 game if you just let me trance.
Yeah, that's for Persona.
So. I know where they got it from, because it sounds like they stole it from MiHoYo, because this reminds me of like during the big chapter bosses. I'm going to go to the very first one, because we've all made it at least that far, where you get to do the big punch on Blondie McBlonderson.
Yeah.
They feel like that. You have a certain cooldown or where you build it up, and then you can use that ability on command whenever you choose.
Yeah.
Once it comes up.
Yeah.
So this is like something that they nicked directly from HoYo, which admittedly, my issue with MiHoYo gacha games has absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay of Honkai Star Rail. That should be
Right.
they should make a $70, $60. Just do it. I would play your RPG. I would play Emporius.
I mean, I can't say anything. I do play their games. I can't say anything. I do play their games. Well, 2 of them.
But yeah, like the actual gameplay of P5X is actually really good because it is just Persona.
It's a Persona game. Yeah, and Persona games are brilliant. I tend to fall off them, but they are very good.
Yeah, but the at least for the very start of the game, the writing is not there whatsoever. It's
so
awful.
I'm going to use this as a moment to actually, Matthew. Before I do this, is there anything you want to say? Because I will use this to go on to one of the games. Well, one of the genres I was going to talk about.
I was just going to make a joke that while the Subway Slammer thing is super weak writing, Twitter and Reddit have made it incredible in the memes. It's great.
It's so ridiculous.
I love it.
I'm happy someone's enjoying it. I really am.
That's all it is. Like I think it's lame. I think it's dumb. A lot of the story writing early on there is just like I said, gacha games have never been known for a good start, but they usually pick it up eventually. Like even Motsuha, I feel like it's my fault that he lost his career because I hit a baseball.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, excuse me? You quit your favorite thing because you happened to hit this pitch and you blamed yourself for it? Like, I mean, you're a kid, sure, but I'm just like that. My brain can't understand this. I've worked with kids. I've worked with kids a lot, and it doesn't make sense. I've never interacted with a kid that is... I've never seen a kid who's so down on themselves. If this was like a 17, 18-year-old, I could believe it more than I could a 7-year-old. I'm just like...
So just quickly, so Dollar can understand. The first villain in quotation marks, is a baseball player and an up-and-coming... major league baseball. Yeah. He's like, a star, a somewhat prodigy. He was like, face of baseball, of Japan's baseball and all that, right? So in one of his like, I don't know, charity things he did, he just, played baseball with a bunch of, elementary school children. So, you can have his face out and, good ratings and all that shit, right? But like, one of the children were like, hey, can you do your like super famous game ending pitches and all that shit? And he's like, all right, sure. So he does his game-ending pitcher, and the child fucking hits the ball, and that's his motivation to be a fucking misogynist.
Yeah, he just it makes all of his confidence in himself just disappear, and then he goes into this slump, and then he's fired, and he can't play baseball anymore, and he blames the 7-year-old for his lack of self-confidence over.
Oh my God!
Like.
He got mugged by a 7-year-old. He's like, well, my career's over now.
Dude doesn't try, doesn't do anything. He just questions everything about himself. And then the 7-year-old in turn...
worse than I thought.
And then the 7-year-old in turn is like, oh my God, my favorite baseball player quit because of me, because I hit a baseball.
Oh my God.
In my head, it's just like, I have a hard time believing a 7-year-old would even be conscientious of this. Like... They wouldn't.
Oh God, darn!
Would they really understand that? How would they even begin to think like them hitting the baseball is why they quit? How would she know that?
Not only that. For some fucking reason, the literal other like 7-year-old children are fucking pointing and bullying at the 7-year-old that hit a fucking pitch and say, "You're the reason why he stopped his career. He quit his career and he's in a slump now." And I'm just sitting here like, are you fucking serious?
First off, why do these kids watch baseball that aren't playing baseball? And second off, why do they know this? Like, how do they know this? Where do they get this logic?
Oh my God, it's actually just bad.
I'm sure somebody out there can probably make a reasonable argument for it, or make a reasonable.
No.
I think it's possible. Somebody can probably put something. I'm not saying I would agree to it, but I think they can make a logical.
Children who bullies other 7-year-old children, pushes them, saying, not, oh, you just destroyed this man's fucking career. It's all your fault. No 7-year-old does that.
7-year-olds bully. Let's be fair, but it's the way they go about it that it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's childish. It's childish bullying because it's almost like they're a child, not like this weird like fucking teenage girl, adult, like fucking manipulative. Like, oh, it's all your fault and all this gaslighting and all that. It just doesn't work. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
I think for the point of the story they want of to differentiate it a little bit from P5 is they want the story to be more focused on this societal depression that is just draining everybody, which is something I think very present in today's time, honestly. If for that point, like it gets that point across because that's the state that the Motaha is in. But that doesn't mean the writing's good.
Yeah, and then what happens after his baseball career? He just gets a 9 to 5.
He just gets a 9 to 5, wears a suit, and he hates it, and he blames the 7-year-old and decides because he becomes so drained because of depression and hopelessness, and he just starts slamming people on the freaking subway.
The implication is that he only slams into women because they are weaker than him and much smaller, and then he can be like, oh, sorry, that was not my fault. Duh. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid.
But the memes from it are great. The memes from it are great.
They have been very funny, to be honest.
So you were gonna say we ended up going a little bit longer than intended.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was gonna jump across this is this, like you were saying, this isn't the only thing. So this isn't unique to Persona. I did not think very highly of Zenless or Wuthering Waves at the start of their. I put it down. I didn't play those games. Smash cut to a year later to the anniversary. When I was like, yeah, all right, I'll see what happened after a year, and I'll have an actual game to play. Turns out they're all right now. Both in terms of story.
Wives.
I do. I'm a big fan. Rimacita literally changed everything about that game. I was not sold on Jinjo.
Guys, I am a virus, listeners. I have caused both of my cohorts here to become gacha players.
I mean, I've always been a gacha player, but
I've not. I don't approve of gacha. I am here because I'm stupid.
Fair.
I'm not. Look. I'm not proud of this, but like I said, these two are games I've been sinking a lot of my time into. Too much time into.
But the storytelling is good.
Surprised, something was surprised because, like I was saying, their initial launch, in my opinion, I'm sure there's people out there who liked both games. I thought both of these launches were fucking abysmal. Zenless had an issue with its... Yeah, Zenless had an issue more with its gameplay than its writing, though the writing was still very chapter 1 of a gacha game, not as enticing as it could be.
I think, to real quick, to Nat's point from earlier, I think if I were going to put forth a gacha game that did a chapter 1 good, ZZZ actually would be the one I put forward, because that's the one whose story from Go that I was actually like, okay, I wasn't completely turned off from. Like, I wasn't sold, but I wasn't turned off from.
Like I said, the big failing for Zenless, and they couldn't have seen this coming, was their gameplay. And by they couldn't have seen this coming, apparently everyone told them and they did it anyway. Anyhow, so that was my issue there. After a year of them pretty much gutting their initial ideas and just making it a standard game, turns out, it's a very competent action game. And Wuthering Waves has just genuinely been spectacular. I would love to find fault with this game because oh boy, I found fault with it in week 1, and I stopped playing it week 1. And I came back. I played through the mountain whose name I can't remember. I didn't think that was great either. I got to Renacita, and I genuinely felt like I was playing a different game. It has been on go the whole time, and I have enjoyed it.
Don't say that. I'm already playing Persona 5X, bro. I don't need other gacha games to play.
Look, both of your...
Stop playing Persona and go play WoW instead.
both of your co-hosts here are playing WoW. And Jesse's playing WoW.
I got him into WoW. He would not shut the fuck up about it. It's actually just annoying.
So Dalit,
yes, you, if you're listening.
So Dalit,
Jesse,
Nat made a group chat for me, him, and Jesse for V Rising, and me and Jesse immediately turned it into Wuthering Waves.
Within the first 3 fucking minutes.
Astounding.
Oh my god!
I think that is very funny.
It is fucking awful.
On the Wuthering Waves thing, when something I find really funny, because it is amazing. It is a really good story. It's a really fun game. Like it's a fun game. Now, and to that point, Kuro has always, in my experience, made good games. I think Punching Brave Raven is a great game.
It's true. I don't think the storytelling, punishing. I don't think the story of PGR has ever been its strong suit. But the game has more than made up for it, 100%.
Yeah, and I'm told the storytelling further in is incredible. And the little bit I've seen of it, I fully believe it. And I play PGR once in a blue moon still, just because it's a fun game. I'll pick it up and play a little bit. But to the Wuthering Waves point, Dalit knows this, because every time I'm in a call with like him and a few others is when this happens, it feels like. But my nephew Zach, if you're watching this episode later, Zach, shout out to you, buddy. He's in, like, he's waiting for like some game to come out to play or whatever, and trying to save up his money to build a new PC, so he's not buying as many new games. Right. And so he was just like flipping through the PlayStation store or whatever, and he saw Wuthering Waves because it's on PlayStation, and it was free. So he's like, I'll download and play this, see what it's like. And he didn't know anything about it. He had never played a gacha game before, so he downloaded it to play it. And I think like the day after, I get a call from him. And I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And he's like, "Matt, do you know anything about this Wuthering Waves game?"
Do I?
And I think it was in call with Dalit and somebody else, and I hadn't muted myself.
Me and Show, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I had muted myself yet, and I just started laughing. And I was like, oh yeah, I know a thing or two about this. What you want to know, buddy? And now I get it's like without fail on like every Friday I get a call from my nephew, and he gives me an update of where he is in Wuthering Waves. He's so sold. He really loves the game, and I'm really happy. He's really enjoying it. And I've been having to explain some gacha terminology and gacha things to him because he's never played them. So I'm like, don't do this. That's not a good idea. But do this, etc., etc.
Reroll. Reroll.
Every time do that.
Reroll.
No, not for WoW. And one of the things like I did was like, so this one's going to be weird for you. Do the main story first before you go off side questing. A lot of, especially in like action and open world gacha games, they expect you to do the story before you start doing all the side stories.
Because they will just spoil shit for you on the side quests, and I'm just like, huh? Yeah,
like the side stories usually are from the perspective you've done the main story. So so that was something I'm like, you probably want to, because he's been doing every side quest, and I'm like, that's great. I mean, that's they're there for a reason.
Hey,
you want the rewards.
Yeah, he's getting account experience, which is good.
Yeah, I'm just like, But you probably want to do the main story so you can actually have everything unlocked and go do everything, I think. And but he's just last update he gave me last Friday, he had just finished the Black Shores section and was about to get
and
he was about to
I did like the Black Shores. I should have said that.
Yeah, he was about to go anyway. He was about to go talk to Shorekeeper to start the Renacita stuff, and I'm like, it's really good. Just play the story. Don't worry about the other stuff. The other stuff will be there. Come back to it. Just play the story, buddy. You'll like it.
I don't know how playing through Renacita you'd be able to tear yourself apart or away from the main story.
I mean, yeah, 100%, yeah. But yeah, it was a great game. It's a fun game. Like they've done a lot to make it that way, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure the common consensus was that just the first patch was just not good in terms of story. It was very terminology heavy.
Yeah, for being fair, you're correct. It did have an issue with exposition because it was the first chapter.
Exposition. Yep, that's the one.
They wanted to dump a lot on us, but it had a couple other issues if you were an English enjoyer, if you just didn't want to have to read your game, and that was the cast was all over the place, and unfortunately none of that place was truly good. Even the best had pretty glaring issues. Combat was never an issue, even if it was incredibly vanilla.
I wouldn't say. No, you're right. Bare bones, but yeah,
it was very vanilla, and that would inevitably change as we got different units that could do more interesting things.
Oh yeah.
But the story itself was, I mean, Chapter 1 exposition dump, and a lot of the characters just weren't as appealing as later ones would be.
Yeah.
But all of that got rectified. All that got rectified, in my opinion, with Shorekeeper and with no one else at the Black Shore and everything afterwards, which was Renacita and now, what's the name of the location we're in? Septimont. Yes.
Yeah.
It has been a blast.
It's very good, very enjoyable.
I may have to come back then.
Yeah,
you would make Jesse's day, I think.
Don't say that.
To force us off of Gacha because we've been here for an hour.
I do want to say real quick before you do, because Dalit has been playing 2 of the Gachas I play. It's enjoyable, and Nat with P5. It's enjoyable when you have friends that play the same gacha as you to talk about.
Yes, I don't know how you would ever do this by yourselves. Oh my goodness, it would just drive me insane.
Like, I mean, right now, I don't have many people that I really talk with about Star Rail, so Dalit is subjected to a lot of my lore theory dumping and emotional dumping of Star Rail, where I'm just like, oh my god, this just happened. Dalit, listen to me for a second.
No, I don't mind doing it. There's a reason that this image has a capybara in it. I'm very good for this.
But you were transitioning, Dalit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did also want to briefly, because we've brought it up a couple of different times. I also have been playing Expedition 33. I will say nothing about it because Nat needs none of that spoiled. That game is a treasure, and I hope it does make the industry change. But I hope to that after Baldur's Gate, and we'll see.
I shared it in News Corner the other day.
Here's the thing, though. Even if it doesn't change the industry, it definitely has changed Square Enix. They've acknowledged it.
Square Enix did acknowledge that they were like, we see the success. We'll work on turn-based games again.
So yes, they said this, and I believe that they said this, and that they did in fact take knowledge. I feel like every 5 years we have to reteach them this, though.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Square Enix.
I'm kind of tired of telling Square Enix
success of Clear Up Expedition 33. Yeah, there's the title.
Like I'm tired of telling Square. Yeah, I would love another turn-based game. I like your turn-based games. My favorite game is one of your turn-based games. Like Final Fantasy X is as turn-based as we're getting. I can put the game down and walk away. It's not active. Nothing will happen until I make a decision.
Exactly. Can you not sit in front of my monitor, Cat? Thank you. Sorry, just Eli decided to be like, yeah, I'm going to be on your desk and in front of... Sorry, go on.
Cat doing cat things.
So Final Fantasy X being, Final Fantasy X being a good game, yeah.
But no, just going on in general, like, I don't know if they just keep looking at Bravely Default and going like, but it doesn't really reach where we want to reach. Of course, it's not your flagship series.
Exactly right.
You had an opportunity to look at your at a Final Fantasy game that was turn-based and go, all right, maybe it can still work. Except you made 15, 7 Remake, 7 Rebirth, and 16. You haven't even tried a turn-based game since 13.
I want to say this is also not just a Square thing. I think like in industry, like AAA studios in the industry have this really misconstrued perception of how much or how many sales their games will make, because we hear it all the time that this game didn't meet sales that they were expecting. This game didn't meet sales that were going. Like, what are you expecting, companies? Like, I don't quite get it.
They're so expecting...
especially when a lot of these companies don't listen to the players and like
facts.
Yeah, they just and I get making video games is an art form and you want to make the games you love. That's like the sole thing that's one of the big things that drive indie games, right? And that's fine. That's cool. There's amazing games that come from that. Hollow Knight is an amazing example of this kind of thing, right? It's an incredible game that there was an artistic vision and a passion for, and that's the game they wanted to make, and it did great. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but for a lot of these AAA games, especially the ones that they always are saying doesn't meet expectations, they're not. They're making the game that they want to make, but based off of things that they think the players want, and not actually listening to what the players want, I believe.
Yeah, so pretty much what the developers want is the video game equivalent of movies. When people make AAA, quadruple A movies, they want billions of dollars in revenue, or at least very high, triple digits in the millions, right? The video game equivalent is despite it being an awful game, is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which was 20 million, but that was
no. Don't even use Scarlet and Violet, because I don't think it's representative of the games that they're making. Because I think you do make
no. Just the unit sold, the unit sold. Because that was
I think there's a better example though.
Okay, which one?
And this is specifically because we started complaining about turn-based, and Pokemon's actually a turn-based game that does very well, so that doesn't actually work. The game that is the guiding star of the game industry that I really fucking wish would die. Is Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Everything has to be hyper realistic. It has to be action packed. You go, no stop.
Yeah.
And it has to be somehow at once a live service that is bite sized.
Yes.
Excuse me. What? That is impossible. What you're asking for is impossible, to the point that Call of Duty can't do it.
Yeah, Call of Duty's been progressively getting worse and worse reviews with their newer games too. So hopefully they realize that eventually, that something's not going to work out for them.
But yeah, they want the high, double digit millions units sold for every single product that they fucking release. When that is not going to happen.
Well, the actual issue, as far as I can tell, is something that, again, Baldur's Gate and Clair Obscura kind of do poo-poo on, and that is that it's not that they want these things to happen, it's that they need them to happen, which sounds ridiculous. What game could be worth needing to sell 50, 100 million copies? Well, a lot of these teams are bloated.
Very much so. I mean, Microsoft just axed 9,000 fucking jobs today.
Which sucks. But honestly...
But that just shows you I wonder that shit's bloated.
Exactly.
Well, at least
but
the
like
AAA
how many
stuff
people
is
were actually
bloated.
getting use? But you have all
Exactly.
these stats that are bloated. You have them trend chasing like hyper realism, which we know is terribly expensive to do,
Yep.
and terribly time consuming.
And not
And they're always
everyone wants
missing.
it.
Yeah, and we're always missing deadlines. So push it back, push it back, push it back until
Yeah.
at some point you get it. They throw out a copy that is incomplete. And until recently, which we might be seeing a shift in the industry in this regard, exclusivity also kneecapped them. Um, sure, you get you get a bit of a forward from whatever company you sign with, be it Nintendo, be it Sony, be it Microsoft, wherever. But that is 2/3 of the player base isn't playing your game.
Yeah, exclusivity
Nintendo
will
makes
really
this.
kill it.
Yeah, Nintendo makes this a bit difficult because the Switch you literally couldn't put things out for if you were actually stressing the Xbox and PlayStation. The Switch just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Currently,
But
I was gonna say currently Nintendo
Right.
is the biggest offender for exclusivity too.
This is true, and unfortunately, Nintendo doesn't give a shit because Nintendo's expectations are in keeping with exclusivity, so they unfortunately will never need to change.
Mm-hmm.
But using Sony is a really good example. Sony was for the longest time just completely ignoring Microsoft and also waiting 3 to 5 years to put things out on Steam. And honestly, I don't even think you should wait a year to put things out on Steam if you're trying to make money back. That should
fucking
be
preach.
yeah, like this just like I'm not saying it needs to be worldwide. I do like if your PC port needs time, please do a good job.
Yeah, because
Wilds
PC
is
ports
fucking
have not
around and
been.
finding out currently.
Yes.
Despite
so much
having made
been fixed
buku
and
bucks.
yeah.
But the point is, like, yeah, like it's been a bunch of little things, mostly self-inflicted, that have caused all these ideas. It's the reason why games seemingly need to be $80. They don't. It's the reason why games need to be able to sell 30 to 50 million copies. They don't. But because you've made your game so expensive to make, it's why I am kind of like irrationally, if I'm honest. There's some logic there, but it's mostly a gut check reaction. I do not like open world games for this reason. I think if you have a more linear experience, you can keep costs down substantially.
Oh yeah.
And you can have large zones, but it doesn't need to be open world. I actually think 16 was amazing in this one, but that's just me.
Right.
I don't disagree. And I don't mind open worlds either. But I think
if the game justifies an open world, I think half of the games that are open world don't actually justify having one, though.
True, yeah, that as well. I was gonna say I don't mind open world. It's everybody wants to do it now, so it just kind of feels overplayed at this point.
Yeah, exactly right. Just like how everyone wants to do a battle royale and all that shit.
Yeah,
the live service.
Yeah,
just like 20 years ago, everyone wanted an MMO.
Yeah,
it's always the answer is always trend chasing and trend chasing too late.
Yeah,
that has always been what damns these companies short term.
I agree with you on the 16 and how it did zones was really well. I liked that a lot.
16 is a great game. The biggest flaw of 16 is apparently deciding to put Final Fantasy
on the title.
Instead of calling it Final Fantasy, I don't know, Rosaria or something. If that game was an offshoot, I guarantee you that game would have come out to rave reviews. Yeah, this is Final Fantasy's the Square's first time out doing something like this. I think they did a good job. It's a good base instead of such a bad Final Fantasy game. Gosh.
Damn, this ain't fucking Final Fantasy 3. No, I don't.
I also think this should have been an Evilise game. I think that would have helped a lot, but that I could just absolutely be wrong about, and that's just taste.
See, I want people to continue Evilise, but I think it's done. I mean, once they've done this remaster, I think they're done.
But speaking of Evilise, we got a Tactics remaster. That's cool.
Oh, it is a little disappointing, but it's mostly good news.
Mostly. I'm just happy to get my hands on Tactics on my computer. I can finally play through it like now, where and maybe actually beat it.
You can play it on PC already.
Well, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I've played it a few times on PC, but
it just takes a
this
little
is nice.
setting up to do.
Yeah, it's nice that this is official. I have watched the interviews. I have heard the chat. I understand why it is not the War of the Lions version. I respectfully think
disagree.
it's silly.
Yes.
I think it's silly. I understand that
oh my God.
War of the Lions was made by a follow-up team that was not the team that worked on Tactics, and in that regard, they feel a little slighted because they want to put out their work, not someone else's work. But also, you are needlessly keeping a bunch of content fixes, whilst, by the way, keeping the War of the Lions translation. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
just put in the extra characters, the extra classes, and the extra missions, and you would have had a clean remaster of one of the most beloved Final Fantasy non-mainline titles. Full stop.
Oh yeah, but
it's funny that you make the point that they might feel slighted, because like how many of the people that are on this team are actually from the original Tactics team? Truly, I feel like it's not enough that they can really feel that slighted.
No, but the people in charge are, if I recall.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe like a handful, like up to 5, maybe 10 people.
The decision makers, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. But other than that, just okay.
To circle back to the thing that kind of put us in this vein, Expedition 33, incredible game.
Oh my God, it's so good,
so very good.
Buy that full price. I'm not a shill.
Like you really should. Okay. It's like first off, it's full price isn't the cost of a AAA game, and that's amazing.
It's what, $50 full price?
45 USD.
45.
Damn.
And I think the majority of the time it's been out, it has been on sale, so you can get it for like 40.
I just can't get over the fact that this $45 game is literally one of the best games I've played.
It is blown out
like 10 years.
So many AAA $60, $70 games from the last couple of years. It's so good. It takes the gameplay that like players like us have been asking for years now, and we've seen, and it's not just us, like turn-based is a thing people want. They took that, they used it, and they also found a way to make it unique unto themselves and kind of innovative in the same time. And it's so fun. The game is so fun. It is a great game. And I'm not going to talk about like story or anything, because, all three of us, I think, are at different degrees of done, all it being completely done.
It's just mind-boggling, because like while you say it's like it sort of is unique, I mean it really isn't. It's taking Mario RPG stuff and put in their game, and obviously making their own versions of it. So like the idea of it isn't unique, but the fact is that it's so rarely done nowadays that you put it.
We haven't seen
those kinds of mechanics in. Pardon?
We haven't seen it since Mario RPG, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That you taken those mechanics and put it in today's climate of video games. It's like, holy shit, where the fuck has this been all this time? Sort of thing,
You're gonna say, Dalit?
Moreover than that, it's literally the entire package. Which isn't to say this game is without faults. Guys, Sandfall, fuck those beach segments. I don't know if your game controls as well as you think it controls. But that aside, like, the whole package is good. The acting is astounding. They were able to sell us this game for $45, starring fucking Charlie Cox and goddamn...
Holy crap.
Fucking no, what? No.
Chin Star.
Wait, how far are you in this game?
I'm up to the I forgot what they call it, but like the little people village.
He's at the Kestrel Village.
Well then,
Well, Kestrel.
I don't know if you know, that old man that jumped you on the beach was voiced by Andy Serkis.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
I didn't know that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Gollum, which is the name I was attempting to remember, and of course I didn't in the time.
Shit, yeah, really?
That's Andy Serkis. They have fucking Daredevil and Gollum as two major factors in this game.
Oh,
and
damn.
To your point, they're also leaning on two of my biases, and Ben Starr and Jennifer
English. Yeah,
they're very good. They're very good.
I love Charlie Cox being in this. Right, the man comes out here for, what was it, 4 hours? He said in an interview to record all of his lines for this game. Delivers one of the best performances in video games for the last couple of years.
This stuff is so good.
It's so good. And gets rave reviews. And dude's like, I don't play video games. I don't know anything about this. I keep hearing this. I feel like a fraud.
I would love to know how long he actually spent in the booth. It's obviously not 4 hours, just listening to it. But clearly he spent like a day, maybe two, which is insanity.
The man is so talented, and from the entire game, his performance is incredible. It's so good, and I love Ben's character and his performance as well. But to me, Gustav's performance is the best in the game, hands down, and I love it. Now that's opinion. Everybody's gonna have their opinion because
everyone's gonna have a different choice on that one.
Yeah, because
for me it's Mael. I love Mael.
Mael is right there as well. I think she might be my second.
Funny enough, she probably wouldn't beat out Gustav, but a character Nat hasn't met, but is close to meeting.
Technically would have met. Technically.
Oh yeah, no. You would have met her at the send-off.
Yeah.
One of the members of the expedition, CL, oh my goodness, she was lovely, and I wasn't prepared. First of all, I completely forgot that she was in this game until she appeared. The writing is good. Her delivery is excellent. Yeah. It's a complete package. That's the important takeaway from this. Forget who your favorite is. Forget what your favorite part of it is. The gameplay, elite. The music, astounding. By the way, that music. I'm so happy I don't speak French, because I feel like every major piece of music is a spoiler. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure from the few words I know, I'll hear and I'll go, wait, hold on. Fuck, what does that? What does the rest of that mean?
I want to.
And then in hindsight, I'll see what happens in the story and go like, no, the whole song was a spoiler. Oh, if I only
pretty much.
Dalit, who voices the final recruitable character? I'm not saying names or anything, but I just want to know who voices him.
Wow, spoilers. You can recruit people?
Shit. You mean the final recruitable character?
Yeah, like literally the last one.
Rich Keeble.
Rich Keeble, okay. His performance with him and Ben's characters interacting.
Oh my god!
It's been the best thing. If anything overtakes Charlie Cox's performance, just watching those two banter back and forth.
They're two idiots. I love them.
It's so
By the way,
good.
That character is voiced by Fenrico from Wuthering Waves. Make of that what you will.
Oh, okay.
That's the same guy. But for me, a character that I like, I guess we also can't say it, is the most French character in the game. Big fluffy marshmallow that he is. I love it.
I mean,
There's so much. Everything about it. The story is actually solid. I think some people don't like the final act. And they've literally said they just choose to ignore that and live in the first two acts. If that's what it takes for you to enjoy it, more power to you. The second act is strong. I think it's fine throughout. The gameplay is excellent. The music's astounding. The characters are wonderful. I genuinely don't. It's hard to find meaningful faults. It's hard to think of a reason why this shouldn't be the new bar with which you set at. On the
don't say that word. Fucking game devs don't like that B word.
So yeah, because and this is, and I was going to eventually get to this because this is what I was going to lead towards. If you have a game like this, you're able to do so much, and the budget allows for it. They were able to put together the game we got with a literal all-star cast.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah.
And the last time I felt this strong about like a game changing, sorry for the fireworks, by the way, a game changing the industry was Baldur's Gate, and it was embarrassing to see the way devs and
viewers,
executives,
okay.
executives talk about how it was impossible, this impossible once in a lifetime thing, and that couldn't possibly be the standard. It absolutely could be if you stop trend chasing. Exactly. If you stop trend chasing, you start making art again. And I will grant you, I will 1,000% grant you, this game is not the most photorealistic thing in the world, but those are real people on the screen as far as I'm concerned.
It looks real good. It looks real good to me. Yeah. It's everything about this game is just, it's fantastic. It's great. And like you said, it's hard to find a meaningful fault with it.
Yeah, I'd like to see games done like this. I know this game had a bit of a longer life cycle than people tend to say it does, because it did restart in the middle. But I would like for us to get back to like the PS2 era, where we could have games come out fairly quickly without, actively expending the health, mental and physical, of the developers.
At a reasonable price.
Smaller teams.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, smaller teams working on a more focused idea. Like no more letting games be this big forever thing. Like if you put out, I guarantee you, I promise you this, no live service is going to be more valuable to you than a solid IP. Like, if you can put out a series of games, 3 games that everyone just loves, you will have an IP to coast on for the rest of your studio's existence. If you put out a live service and it fails, suddenly Bungie may not exist going forward.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's Expedition 33 is one of the best experiences in games I've played, and by far one of my favorites is recently, especially and I play all these gacha games, and it's no secret that I love live service games. I've enjoyed Expedition 33 more than any of the live service games I currently play, and more than some of the ones that I may not currently play, but I still consider myself playing in some regards. And I think. And some people would, make this argument, maybe they won't, but some people might, this argument that one of the things you can get with live service games that you can't is good cliffhanger endings. And to that, I say, yeah, I like a good cliffhanger ending if it's a good one. Sure.
Play Trails of Cold Steel. You'll learn about cliffhanger endings.
You beat me to it. That's where I was going. And while several of the gacha games I currently play have done really good cliffhangers recently. One of the best ones was Trails of Cold Steel, which was a game originally made for PSP, I think.
I believe, yeah.
And
or maybe Vita. It might have been Vita.
It might have been Vita. But yeah, it was Trails of Cold Steel. That was an incredible cliffhanger. Oh my god! If you played that game,
cliffhangers are Cold Steel, and honestly, a game I don't particularly like, 13-2. Yeah. Fucking, it can be done if you just do it.
Yeah, but to that point, that's if you like cliffhangers. This one is more a contained story, but Expedition 33, just an incredible game. I think the only quip I personally can give it, and this is for me personally, right? Something about turn-based games, like you said earlier, Dalit, when talking about 10, is, you can put it down, walk away, and that game's not doing anything until you get back or whatever. or even if it's one of those things that you click your turns and then you walk away or whatever. When you get back, whatever happened was going to happen. This one, because of the parry and dodge system in the game, it does for me, like, it engages that part of my brain that like an actual like active game would. And so when I'm wanting to kind of veg out and play a game, my favorite thing to do is veg out and play a turn-based game. It's hard for me to do that.
And E33 is definitely not one of those kinds of games.
It's hard for me to do that with E33 because I'm having to kind of focus and try to time my parries and dodges and etc. and so forth. And that's not even really a drag on the game because I love that system. I love the game. I think it's really, really really good. But that's about the only quip I could really make about it, and that's just a personal thing. And so that's why I haven't actually finished it.
I feel that.
My little tiny quip with E33 is the hitbox for the overworld attack is not the same as the special effects, and that annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, that took a minute to adjust to. That's fair.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, the game's great.
Now I'm running full on into everything as Luna with a big old blast. If I hit you, I hit you. If I don't, I'll still beat you, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, anything else, Dalit, that you've been playing you want to talk about? Because I mean, we talked about E33, we talked about the WUWA and the ZZZ and all those things.
I mean, unless you want to hear me praise Balatro for the billionth time,
or good.
Kind of super doomer on Tekken and Monster Hunter.
I will admit, when you first made that like really doomer comment about Monster Hunter, I was very surprised to hear that from you.
Monster Hunter's fine. Hold on. Actually, I will dwell on this for a moment because I'm making it
No, Wilds is not fine. Wilds is not fine.
Wilds has some issues on PC. This is certainly true. And it doesn't affect everyone the same way, which makes it a bit difficult to parse. Yes. However, that said, my issues, specifically my issues, are literally just the fact that I have been unable to find any interest to stay with this particular Monster Hunter, which fucking sucks for me because I love Monster Hunter. I would, at this point, I've multiple times considered going back to play more Portable Third before stopping myself and go, Wilds is right there. It is currently the most active Monster Hunter. And I'm like, I don't care.
No, I think agree with you.
Yeah, for me, and like I know what it is for me. Like for me, it's just a case of they streamline too much.
Oh
the fact that you only need to like hunt something twice to have a full set. Like I don't really need to go back to hunt anything. The fights themselves aren't terribly difficult.
No, they are not.
Even when they introduced the new rank, I went in.
Oh yeah,
I went in and I one. To be fair, I did not one shot. Well, I did one shot, but not in the same sense that I mean. Like I went in Mizutsune, whatever. High rank Mizutsune, whatever. I love Mizutsune. There's nothing you can do that surprises me.
Yeah.
All right, the Soul Sierra was a bit of a surprise. That was cool. But the fact of the matter is the fight just wasn't very difficult.
Yeah.
And the Arch-Tempered stuff is more difficult, but not difficult enough to matter.
Yeah, I'm just not understand. I don't understand the compliments of Arch-Tempered stuff. It's like, oh my god, Tempered one shots me. Okay, little skill issue because I'm pretty sure Arch-Tempered does not have like bigger hitboxes.
No, it has different attacks though, so I think it's fair. They do hit harder, and the attacks straight up add things to them.
But Ray Dow still has his like iconic railgun attack and people still get hit by it despite it not having a bigger hitbox as Arch-Tempered. So in my opinion, it's just a skill issue, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Arch Temple one-shots me. Ooh, difficulty is back.
Well, so we're having two very different experiences, because the issue that I'm having is that everyone is very good at this game. And we are having massively different experiences. I walk in, if I solo, I kill it too quickly. If I'm in a group, I kill it way too quickly. I'm just not getting. I'm not getting the.
No, these are just complaints on Twitter I've seen.
Yeah, it's just not testing me. It did a little bit at first. Arkveld was troublesome, not because it hit too hard or because it did anything particularly amazing, but because I didn't know what it did yet, and it had a grab that required guard up to guard through, or you had to dodge it correctly, and I was point blank to its face.
Right. Yeah.
But that was the most issue I was having. So this game has impressed me like that. I would love to say it's just because I'm a better player now, and I know bits and pieces of that are because I am just a better player now than I was back in the days of Portable Third.
Yeah.
But the jump between the end of World to the beginning of Wilds is, or I guess the end of Rise, the beginning of Wilds. It's just, it is too easy. They have legitimately just made this too easy.
Yeah, especially
Magnamalo was roll catching me all the fucking time. No creature in this game has been a problem.
Not me, because I used dual blades against him, and I just used him. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was just very down on this, but again, this is a me issue. In terms of the monsters they have out, they're very neat. I mostly like the new cast. I like the returning monsters. I need to go log in and beat up actors who I haven't beaten up since Gen, I guess. Since Gen. He's come back. He's come back a couple of times. People seem to forget this. But I haven't fought him or Steve. And okay, I'll say this: I don't like the introduction of Steve. Anyone who says they like Steve, I'm looking at you questionable, because I don't think you like Steve. I think you like his weapon mechanic. I don't think you give a shit about this monster. I don't think he's that interesting. I'm also aware I'm probably wrong in this particular case.
What, you don't like Bleeding Steve?
It's not even that. Again, it's not a difficult fight. I just don't like it. I'm going to be honest.
You just don't care. No.
I hate to be this guy, but I think if they brought back Zinogre and Arkuga, it would have been more.
Of course.
I'm so sorry. I know everyone's so sick unto death of them.
Yeah, especially after fucking Rise and all that.
No, I am happy they brought back Legai, because honestly, I think if they wanted to bring some interesting returners, I think you just pull the trigger and bring back more Frontier monsters, honestly. Just saying. Because then there's no legacy knowledge, unless you played Frontier, which I have, but even then, you don't really have legacy knowledge because of the different game mechanics.
Yeah,
Anyhow, this has been my big doomer. Good.
Yeah, sorry. No, go ahead.
This is why I'm doomer on this. It's just because it didn't enrapture me like many games have before. I've been on board since was it not Portable Third? I say Portable Third, but it's not. Freedom. Yeah, I've been on board since Freedom. So I understand that certain aspects just get easier. This is a blanket truth.
Yeah.
The game the game will never be as difficult as it was when I was trying to hunt down that Tigrex the first time. It's impossible, and I understand that. But the game has still managed to challenge me in various other ways, and this was not one of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. They just made it too easy to actually fight off the monsters during their attacks with the offset attacks and all that shit.
I genuinely don't mind those. Actually, if I had to remove one full thing about this game, it wouldn't be offsets or like perfect clashes or whatever. I'd get rid of the wound system because I think the wound system is a cool idea. That is too powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
But the upside to my feelings on all this is it doesn't really matter. I can go and play. I can go and play whatever Monster Hunter I want. I own 4 of them. Like it's not out of reach. So
well, technically you own more. It's just you gotta do a little bit more work for it, but understandable.
Okay, to your point, technically I could get my hands on whichever one I wanted.
Yeah,
I just don't need to do that.
So I've also been complaining about Wilds as well, and I've been talking about it with Jesse, and we both agreed that just Monster Hunter should just go back to being like 3, 4 Gen U and like tier games.
Oh God, the boomer in me says if you just make 4 U2, I'll be happy. And before anyone says it, yeah, I know that's the flavor that Wilds is going for. Oh, I know. It's impossible to miss.
Wilds is 4-2, pretty much.
But I mean, like, if you make a legitimate 4-2, I will buy that.
Yeah.
Let's be completely fair here. If they put the name Monster Hunter on it, you're gonna buy it.
I mean,
I didn't ever buy stories.
Okay, well, that one's a little different, to be fair, but more or less, if the name is on there,
that's like saying, "Oh, I'm surprised you didn't buy Bravely Default." No, I buy Final Fantasy games.
Actually, hold on. I've bought all Bravely Defaults except for Bravely.
Hey, my man.
Second. I never played Bravely Second. I heard it was good. I just didn't buy it.
I still need to play it. I have it.
I needed those games on something that wasn't the DS. And they're starting to do it, so
this is finally starting to fucking do it.
I will play it now that I'm not restricted to looking at this itty bitty screen with my boomer eyes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I just want like the graphics quality. Well, I say graphics quality, but like the art style or the like graphics direction of like 3, 4 Gen and Rise for Monster Hunter games.
You to okay, so you want like the more arcadey feel that allows a larger cast and a more limited hunting space. Or I guess Rise wasn't limited. Rise was still open.
Right. Yeah.
So no,
like
I
what I'm trying to say is I don't want worlds and graphics fidelity and all that shit. Like the modern photorealistic graphics bullshit. I want to go back to like video game graphics.
And I feel that,
but obviously more high definition.
Because yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have an issue with that. However, unlike a lot of things, I think for Monster Hunter to enjoy its current place in the world, it does need. I think it set the precedent, and it fucked itself. Yeah. I think world kind of made it impossible for
modern fans
to go. Yeah, there's no way a modern Monster Hunter fan, like someone who came in as a fifth gen, to go back to any game, maybe bar Generations, just because of the amount of content they'll get. I think they will inevitably forget the way it looks just because there is always something new.
Yep.
But I just don't find that most people will have the strength of character to go back and give up all of their nice graphics for it.
Graphics over gameplay, apparently.
I think Monster Hunter needs to put Generations on Steam. That's what I think that would go.
My God, with actual working servers, hard. Yes, please.
Yes, I think that would down.
I 100%. In fact, I 110%. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to do that. So
nope.
I don't like. What do I think that they? What is something that I think they could do? I think they should never do open world again. And I genuinely, honestly mean that. I think that they would see more success continuing to have the sectioned off world that they had before. And if they just like put actual meaningful thought into the gathering hub experience, the content creators would be able to carry it regardless, have sieges that you have ironed out so that there's a reason to have those large gathering hubs. But I think I don't like the open. I think the open world more than the fidelity is what fucked Wilds in terms of optimizing.
Oh, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I think if it was just the sand biome and just the lava biome and just the frost biome and so on and so forth, that game is a lot more stable. It's probably not perfect. It's certainly not going to be perfect for everyone. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of y'all are having issues because you're just on older hardware.
Yeah.
But also not pushing for these outrageous. I think the other thing is don't push for all these outrageous necessities. Looking at the base requirements for Wilds is fucking insanity.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
It's to the point that I'm surprised I'm running it as comfortably as I am. I just expect I expect something to go wrong. I'm like, I have a pretty adequately beefy rig for today, and yet there's a chance I have to bump these down to low, and which is ridiculous because I'm playing it. I'm playing it high, so I absolutely do not. But the amount of people that are going to get barred from content just because they don't meet the bare minimum is ridiculous.
I couldn't even play the game; it doesn't run on my PC.
This is exactly it. And so, in this way, I might agree with you, Nat, where we need to take a step back on that whole photorealism thing. But I would like to see other opportunities taken in this regard first, because I know that the way a game looks, the way Monster Hunter looks has been set in the eyes of a lot of a huge amount of people that just found this game within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
To the point that we saw the way that people reacted to Rise. So.
Yeah, everyone's shouting on Rise, and now all of a sudden everyone's praising Rise, like as if it fucking did something different.
Wait, are they praising Rise? That's good.
Yeah,
Rise deserves some praise.
No. People,
not all of it.
People are praising Rise because, like, an attack against Wilds for being dog shit and all that. Like it's there's a word for it, but I forgot what the word is called. But like,
they're praising it in a sense, in a way that's derogatory to Wild more than a praise for it.
Yes, but like there's an actual like term for it, and I forgot.
I think he's just looking for this. This is very revisionist history of people.
Thank you. Those are the words I was looking for.
Which again, I am always happy to say this. Rise was not perfect. It surely was not. But I don't know. It gave a lot of people things they wanted, which is really all I can ever ask for. If you give me a large roster with enough zones and the ability to go out and hunt by myself or with people, I'm gonna be excited about it.
And awesome flagship monsters. Cough, cough, Malzeno.
Heck yeah, Malzeno.
Malzeno was really
yeah.
Malzeno was actually really
of the two Monster Hunter games I've played, Rise is my favorite.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, like it's kind of one of those see, I agree with you, and like like Jesse and I were doing a complete rise through, right, and then just added like 1 point into Sunbreak. We were like, you know what, fuck it. We downloaded one of those like cheat things that gives you like just spirit birds whenever you go into a mission, because like that's what was like killing our enjoyment for the game, was just the constant.
No, that's fair.
Like
I think
the
this is
need of
genuinely
getting
a very...
spirit birds. It was very fucking annoying.
It came down to the fact that I had a route, and whatever I didn't get on that route, I just didn't take with me. If I didn't max out my health, I didn't max out my health. I didn't max out my damage, I didn't max out my damage. But that's I get that, because I wasn't here to farm birds. I was here to
fucking hunt monsters.
I was here to word 2, word 1. I was here to hunting the monsters.
So yeah, we just got to that point, and sudden missions became much more fun because we just go straight to the monster and for
yeah. No, I think I genuinely do think that's incredibly fair. If like I said before, Rise isn't perfect. There probably is a bunch of revisionist history going on if people are singing Rise's praises, because oh boy. That game was also very easy.
Oh yeah,
and
especially if you were Switch Axe user.
Yeah, and yet,
Switch Axe? No, Charge Blade. I think one of the two.
I won't lie to you. I switched to Switch Axe in Rise because of the counter and the invulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that, I have on Charge Blade, but Swax feels really good to hit things with.
Oh yeah.
But no, Silkbinds were really strong. Like, Silkbinds were really strong. That whole system was awesome. Imbalanced as fuck.
Hey, at least it was fun.
But there it is. That is the important part. It was enjoyable. It was super enjoyable.
Yeah.
It just was. So like all of my complaints aside, like what do you want from me? They did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, I don't get that same feeling from Wilds.
I mean, yeah, like Wounds, the Silk, Silkbinds?
Yep, Silkbinds.
Yeah, Silkbinds of the game. Anything else?
No,
on Monster.
Like, look, I've complained about it. I think my complaints are pretty like low on the totem pole. I think there is most certainly fun to be had in this game. And I think honestly, if they clean up the PC port so that they can fix whatever that mostly negative is that they've got going on, a lot of other people will also find that there is plenty of fun to be had in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably just won't be from me until either the expansion at this point, or if they add the next, like,
portable game comes out.
I mean, or if they just add the right monster. Like, if they add like a new monster and I just feel some kind of way about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I need to fight this thing. Maybe that'll be what it is, but I'm just not there right now.
Or Capcom, you could just do what Dodd says and put Genu onto Steam with, actual or servers that work.
Just put Double Cross or Generations Ultimate. Yeah. Put Genu on Steam, and that would go so.
Yeah.
God, it would go so. If you put For You on Steam, I will pick it up. Like, if you put,
I will also pick it up.
If you put Try on Steam, I will deal with the underwater, and then I'll complain about it. So don't do that. Because I won't lie to you. I saw Lagiacrus underwater.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Lagiacrus underwater in fucking Wilds and went, "Oh no, they fucking did it! Why would you do that?"
No, it's just a
I watched somebody get
fucking
nuked by the
forced
whirlpool it
enough.
makes underwater, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
I will give a lot of crap to Watts right now. That fucking Lagiacrus looks so good.
Oh yeah.
God damn! And they even did the little thing from the intro where it has the showdown with the. Oh my god!
Rathalos. Mm-hmm.
It feels real good sometimes to be a fan. Look, I am a fan. I am being serviced. This is fine.
Hey, when you're a fan of
this is
something and they do something
playable.
you like, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I don't gotta like the game. I can like the things you do with it. It's like 90% of the reason why Gacha ever works on me to begin with. I don't fucking respect Gacha. They do have cool characters doing cool things, and I am not immune to that, though.
Yeah, telling me.
Akron.
You telling me.
I'll save you. I'll save you on the Tekken stuff. I'm just displeased with a lot of facets of that game at the moment, and I am hoping that I'm on some serious copium that next month it'll be in an even better spot than I think it currently is in, because it is in a better spot than it was at the beginning of the second season.
Am I crazy?
Anyone who says otherwise is go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, am I crazy, or do they just do like a bunch of nerfs to the characters?
No. No. All right. Quick run through of this, because otherwise I'll steal this conversation for an hour and a half.
Steal the show.
I didn't mean to do that. The season. So Tekken comes out, and it is very offensively focused.
Right.
People don't like that. I fucking hate this. Asterisk. I am doing the best I have ever done in Tekken. Yep. And I fucking hate this. I think it's important to say that, because people will just say, well, you're losing, you just don't like the fact that you're losing. Mm-hmm. No, I am typically a red or a yellow rank, and I got to the red ranks fucking in like one day, like immediately. I was like, whoa. I'm not actually built like this. What's happening?
I'm not actually built like this, yo.
I'm not actually
built like this.
I'm not actually good at this game. What is happening right now? The game gets, I don't want to say figured out, but it gets into a position where people still don't like where we're at. We don't like the new systems, but we've kind of gotten used to it, and we're working our way through.
Right.
And then season 2 happens, and everyone kind of wants this defensive patch. The company knows we want this defensive patch. We want movement to feel good again. We want to have more answers against this absolutely oppressive state of offense. And they give us better movement. Right. Excellent. And then they proceed to buff every single character.
Oh, okay. It was buff, not nerf. Right. Okay, gotcha.
I don't care what anyone says about any character. Every fucking character is jank and busted. That's can put funny. In work. There are characters that are just more jank and busted than other ones. Fair enough. To be fair, like Lee did need a little bit of help. He got it. And now he's jank and busted like everyone else. No, this is the Dragunov cycle. We launch a new game, he's incredibly busted, everyone plays him. He gets his knees chopped off, and no one ever touches him again.
Yep.
Anyhow, point I was getting at. They have since worked at this. They have been limiting some power. I will notice Clive is still exceptionally strong and has received 0 nerfs. Period.
That's right. Final Fantasy, the superior game.
I am open about this. I am a scrub. I do not know how to fight that character, and I don't put enough time in the lab to beat him efficiently yet. Yeah. I genuinely think a couple of things that Clive has isn't just too good, but like Bandai Namco got bribed to make Clive top 1 in the game for a patch. I'm just saying. I am a scrub. This is a scrub quote, but I'm just saying.
I love fighting sword users in Smash Bros. That's how it feels. Just fighting.
I'm shaking. Oh my god, Nat, I'm actually shaking. You have you have inadvertently stumbled upon a lot of people, myself included, biggest gripe in this game.
Yeah, fucking weapon users, not just,
Yes!
fisticuffs.
Holy shit! I don't actually play a lot of fighting games. I can play fighting games. I can pick up any fighting game to like a beginner level. Fine. Like I will have if he says, hey, my boys are playing this right now. We just want someone in for like an equal amount of people. Do you want to run some sets? I'll get bodied all day, but I'll learn something. It's fine.
Yep.
There is no game like Tekken. Tekken is the fighting game I like to play. I can play Street Fighter. I can play Guilty Gear. Hell, I'm kind of feeling myself in Melty and in Under Night. No. I'm feeling myself in Melty. I like Under Night. I'm trash at that.
Right.
But Tekken is my game. When I buy a Tekken game, I am buying that game to play Tekken. I am not buying Tekken 8 to play Soul Calibur 7.
I had a feeling it was going towards Soul Calibur.
I didn't I will be open with my hate. I think Noctis fucked up Tekken.
Oh, absolutely.
I know a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about Geese and about Akuma because they were playing 2D fighting games. They were still hitting you with their fists.
Right.
I can sidestep a fireball if I need to. I can't sidestep a broadsword. Tech is fucking hell. Noctis was a bane. I like Noctis. I don't want him. I just don't like him in Tekken. And then he directly influenced. You can literally see it in the game. He directly influenced Kunimitsu, who also became cancerous in her own way. They definitely live on in Clive, and they also live on in Victor, who was a plague in season 1. Well, at the beginning of season 1. I don't like. And now Anna, I don't think we've spoken about this because the game came out and we weren't. I played Anna in 6 and in 7. I played a different team in Tag, but I don't really like Tag. I played Anna in 6. I played Anna in 7. They brought her to 8. Fuck that bitch. Why does she have a hammer rocket? Why does she have a hammer rocket? I don't want to do rocket cancels to get decent damage. This is sorry. At this point, I'm just mad because they ruined my character. But no, too many weapons. I don't like it. I liked it when it was mostly Yoshimitsu and his weapon was a gimmick.
Yeah. I
don't like this. I don't like full screen normals, which is an exaggeration, but not really. I don't like this game right now. Oh man.
Too many weapons. Get it out.
Too many weapons, too much aggression, though the aggression thing we've been able to figure out a little bit. I don't like the ranking system. I don't like the monetization. I don't like Tekken 8. Yeah. And I really, really want to. Because it's the game I've seen the most success in. You know how much that fucking sucks? I feel like a fraud.
Hey, just like Charlie Cox.
Exactly. And I'm not even very good. Like, trust me, red ranks in this game doesn't mean shit. That's just where I stopped. I imagine I could get to blue if I stopped and I'm currently in between jobs. I got time. If I lab it out, I could do exceptionally well for myself online in this game. I don't fuck with this game. I would like to go back. I would like to go back to Tekken 5, but I also haven't played Tekken 5 against people who knew what they were doing in a very long time. Maybe that's not true. Maybe, but like Tekken 6, that's about as far forward before I started not liking things. Tekken 7 was fine. Tekken 7 was okay. Sorry, Tekken Tag was okay. I don't.
Well, here's the thing, right, Dolan? You would know when Tekken 9 is going to come out, because it's definitely going to come out after Final Fantasy 17.
Shut up. Bandai Namco, listen to me. I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard 1,000,000 times. I do want crossover characters. I got hype about Geese. I was less hype about Akuma, but Akuma's still like a cool character to bring over.
Mm-hmm.
Conceptually,
Noctis.
I liked where your head at was with Noctis, but even the first time, I didn't think he was the right character. Like,
Right.
at no point was I over the moon about that. Sabin, Zeldinkt, Amarant fucking Coral. You could pick any of these characters, but there is a correct answer. The savior of Italy is right there. Bring in Tifa. You're so focused on money. Do you know how many people will buy this game just for Tifa? And then you let us dress up characters. You let us do this. Let the Gooners dress up Tifa. They will buy some shit to make her. Well, Squeenix won't let you do it, but they will buy some shit to make her look however they need to in order to get to where they're going.
Look,
Italy. Wow, the sequel. That's all I'm saying, right? We've got an Italian in this cast. Claudio's Italian. He knows. She's his favorite representative.
100%.
Parliamentary representative.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I mean, like, unironically, look at like, even though NT did die when it was still whatever alive, like, just I'm pretty sure Tifa. Like, Tifa was probably one of the most bold.
You're right. No,
in terms of costumes.
You're right. Holy shit. It was so... Oh my god. I can't believe you said this and you fucking triggered a memory from 3 months ago. There is one of the adverts, one of the advertisements was now with Tifa. It was a selling point of one of the versions of NT. Her not being in base literally riled up the base. Like, people were displeased about it. Just
as they fucking should be, because she was in Node 12 and decent.
I'm actually not going to put this on Bandai Namco because we yelled some people took it too far. They yelled so much about Tifa in 7. So I know that Harada had the at least presence of mind to ask, hey, could we get Tifa? And I have to assume it was Squeenix going, nah, we want you to pump out our new hero character. Dog.
Even though Tifa is the correct fucking choice.
7 has 3 games. If you pump out Tifa, people who play Tekken will buy not just 16. They will buy Remake, Rebirth, and whatever the last 3 is. Your fucking redistribution of the 3rd game. What are you doing? Sorry. This was not supposed to go on this long. I play fighting games, but there is a particular fighting game that I have played since I was 7. Tekken is my fighting game. Yeah. I am ass at this game, but I will continue to be ass at this game for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's how I feel about video games in general.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't play Tekken, you just know, I don't know, just some information about it because, you have a friend that plays Tekken and all that. It just makes you question, if they're doing Final Fantasy characters, Tifa, why not Yang? Why not all these other mods?
Wait, hold on. I hate that I have to ask this question.
Oh, no.
Final Fantasy 4 Yang, or did you mean Yang from Ruby? Okay.
No, God, no, not Ruby. No, man, Final Fantasy.
Now hold on. If you put in Yang from Ruby after playing Blaze Blue Cross tag, I might be about that. Just say.
Yeah. We already have.
I think there's room.
It's called Tifa.
Y'all, Tekken has plenty of Guna characters, so they don't need help.
Oh, true, actually. But look, my point is, even the average Joe will be like, why the fuck did they just not add in Tifa?
Yes, that is being the average Joe response You are correct. Like, what? Why was it Noctis? Why was it? I mean, Noctis is cool, I guess. Why was it Clive? Clive is cool. I get. Why isn't it Tifa? A correct person, correct made-up person in this scenario. Why wasn't it Tifa?
Look, the guy that voices Clive even dressed up as Tifa, saying, "Why wasn't it Tifa?"
Hey, is that actually true?
I don't know that he's.
Yes,
but he did dress up as Tifa.
He is dressed up as Tifa. Yeah, exactly. He's at least
okay.
I fucking love Ben Starr.
Ben Starr is a treasure.
Bets.
He is an absolute treasure, and I don't know anybody that has met this guy that has said different. Like, literally everyone says that about Ben. I would love to meet Ben. Ben Starr, come on to the podcast.
Yeah, do it. Unironically, do it.
I'll debase myself for you to be on this podcast. There's very few things I'll debase myself so for to have Ben on. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Please come talk video games with us. We know you actually like them. We know you play them. Come talk video games.
I've heard you speak about video games. I know you have opinions. I would like to hear if they're correct or not.
So true, buddy.
Somebody out there on the vastness of the internet, please get this message to Ben Starr. Please come on with the podcast. We would love that. We would love to chat video games with you, dude.
I release you all from my complaints about Tekken now.
Alrighty.
So,
what about you, Matt?
Yeah. So it's funny. While y'all were doing Monster Hunter, I was sitting here scrolling through my Steam list, like, because I was like, I can't remember far enough back exactly what I was playing at the beginning of this year, when we I guess technically the end of last year, beginning of this year, when we kind of started our little break. But yeah, going back this year, I've played a lot of games. It turns out having steady work and as it a lot easier. You're not stressing as many things. And somebody actually told me that earlier today. They were like, Matt, ever since you started this job, you seem like a happier person. I'm like, do I? I'm like, I guess that's a good thing. Though,
that's where my head was like, is that a compliment? It feels like a compliment. But also,
I was like, it feels like knowing who is saying it, I know they mean it as a compliment, but I'm also just like, how miserable sounding was I before? Because I always like to
exactly.
Because I like to think I always present myself as a pretty positive dude, but maybe I'm wrong. But see, going back, I was playing my gacha games. I played Star Rail and Wuwa primarily. Because those are the two that I like. If you ask me what my to this day, like right now, if you ask me my main gacha games, it's Star Rail and Wuwa. I did take a month break. I haven't been playing Persona. I did take a month break from Star Rail in the 3.1 patch, mostly because I was just really overextended across a lot of different things, and I was just like, I'm gonna take a break. I want to make sure that I am still enjoying this game, blah 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 blah. And I'm still enjoying this game. But other than in terms of games I've been playing, like I said, it has been a lot. I was playing a lot of Stardew earlier this year. I finally got to play It Takes Two. That game, deserves every bit of praise that it got. It deserved that game of the year. That was an incredible game. So much fun. It was in some ways that game was just also a love letter to video games because of how many different video game references and stuff were in this game. It was great.
Right.
It was love It Takes Two. I picked up Split Fiction, and once my tag team partner is ready, I will be able to play that. But that's probably going to be the end of this year, the way things are looking.
Sheep.
But yeah, let's see. Before Expedition 33, I was playing. So I picked up Expedition 33 in Atelier Yumiya at the same time.
Yep.
Neither of the games were out at this point. And I was like, well, I know I'm not going to be playing Yumiya when it actually comes out because it's a week before 33, and I'm not going to start a game that I'm not going to finish before 33. That would be silly. So I was like, so I spent a lot of time just before 33 came out going back and playing Elden Ring. Because
that's right, you did do that.
I never finished Elden Ring, so I went back and picked it back up and just picked up my save and just went back to work. And Man, Elden Ring's a lot of fun, man. I've played, I've played, the Souls games. I like the Souls games, but it's just like, especially after like watching, not just Nat, because Nat's been playing, like you said, Dark Souls 1. I watched somebody else play Dark Souls 1 recently, and I think I watched Nat play Dark Souls 2 as well not too long ago.
Yeah, I was doing a mod.
Yeah. And those games are great. They're fine. But it's just like Elden Ring is so smooth. It feels so good. I really, really enjoy Elden Ring. And I was having a lot of fun. I was having a lot of fun with Elden Ring. Just kind of running around, exploring, trying to, because I also bought the Shadow of the Erd tree. So I was trying to actually see if I could get to Shadow of the Erd tree before E33 came out. And unfortunately, I got hung up on the fact that the capital changes after a certain point in the story. So I basically got to that point in the story, and then I went back to try and get everything out of the capital that was going to be lost. And unfortunately, one of the things that is lost is like there's like 2 enemies that only spawn there, and then after that point in the story they no longer spawn, so you can't get them in a playthrough. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit here and farm these enemies until they drop their things. And yeah, that I was not having a lot of luck with the drops, and then E33 came out, so I didn't make it to Shadows of the Erd Tree. So next when I go back to it, because I'll pick it back up and go back to it at some point. But yeah, let's see. I also went and played Devil May Cry 5 again, because I love Devil May Cry 5.
Okay, based.
Let's see. What else? There was something else I wanted to mention and talk about that I played. Yes, I played all of my gacha games. Yes. They did those. Oh, right. On top of Expedition 33, I also picked up Aiden Chronicles 100 Heroes. Because I was... what?
No, go on.
Okay. Because I was looking at... I was thinking of the idea of like making games, and thinking like, I love video games. This is what, I really enjoy in life is video games. And I'm like, I wonder... is there some way I could be involved in the process of making video games? And so I was tinkering around with the ideas of things. I bought RPG Maker and was playing around with it. And I had an idea for a game, and I knew there was a game out there that had an aspect of this idea that already existed in Suikoden, Aiden Chronicles, that like those games kind of tinker with the idea a little bit already. So I was like, I'm going to go play Aiden Chronicles 100 Heroes, because it's the newest one of them. I'm going to go play it and kind of see how they handled it, see what they did with this idea. I never played Suikoden, I never played Aiden, and I'd seen people play it, and I thought it looked like a good game. I thought I would enjoy it. And yeah, the game came out, I think 100 Heroes came out last year.
That sounds right.
It was a blast. Technically I haven't finished it. Technically, I have not finished it. The reason I have not finished it is because there is a mechanic in the game that is like time gated, like by like actual like time.
Okay.
But it's meant to be something you let go and run while you're actually playing the game.
Right.
I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I've basically beaten the game. I just somewhere in the middle of it was when I was had like a crazy work schedule, didn't have time to actually sit and play E33. And I was, tinkering with this, and so I was like, all right, let me pick this up and play it. And it also helped because I was able to play it on my Steam Deck. And because whenever I was like, in bed, like sick or, before bed, I would be like laying there, playing around on it. And,
yeah,
the game is an absolute blast. It is a fun game. They made it as a spiritual successor to the Suikoden series, like, cause they were big fans of Suikoden, and they wanted to, make it homage to it, a game that wasn't homage to it, I guess. And some of those things they decided to keep in a modern game. It was kind of like, all right, hold up. You didn't have to be that true to form. Right. Like some of these mechanics died,
All right.
30 years ago for a reason.
I was literally about to say, okay, buddy, no need to bring the 30-year mechanic back.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
there was a few things where I was like, all right, I don't think that was the right choice. Did it take away my enjoyment in the game? No. The game was, from start to finish, I have enjoyed every second I put into that game. It is a blast. I really, really had fun with that game. And again, like I do need to actually finish it and do the final fight. Like I said, half the reason I haven't is because one of the things in the game you do is you build up your own like fort and castle, and you upgrade the facilities and blah 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 blah, and you get these materials as you're like playing the game, fighting monsters, exploring the world, and then some of them are behind these expeditions or whatever they're called. I don't remember. Expeditions is the word in my head. Yeah,
expeditions. You say
expeditions is the word in my head because of E33. So that's the word I'm using. I don't think that's the right word.
Right.
But so the idea is, it's 100 heroes, right? 100 recruitable characters. There's actually like 120, I think. Is you send a group of 4 of those characters that you've recruited out to do like a mission. And the idea is while you're playing the game and doing, side missions or whatever, that's going on. And then while, it'll be finishing while you're finishing, the story, whatever. Well, I don't want to finish the game without actually, finishing all the upgrades to my castle and whatnot.
Right.
But some of the materials you need for those final upgrades are only available in those
post game
in those like expedition mission things, and it takes 30 minutes for them to finish. So, and like you need more than one of them, so you got to do it multiple times.
Right.
And that's kind of the point where I've stopped is what I need to do is while I'm doing something here on my computer or while I'm working or whatever, I need to open up Iodine on my deck and just let it sit there. Let the game run and let those be running and collecting while I'm doing stuff so I can actually finish.
Wait, so you need to have the game open? You can't just...
No, it doesn't go off of your save time or anything like that. It is literally play time because it's meant to be done while you're doing other things. The thing is I've pretty much done everything else. I just need to finish upgrading my castle and things like that. Because here's the thing. The main story of the game, I think, goes around to like level 50 to 55 range. But there's a end game like challenge mode thing is one of the like facilities you can build at your castle.
Right.
And you have to build it to recruit one of the characters. And so I built it. But I didn't really know what it was at the time. So I built it, and then I went and did a run through of it. And like I think that's in like the lowest level that's meant for is the level like the end of the game is. And I'm at this point I'm like 20 levels below that, maybe 15. But somehow, maybe because I just had a good team comp that I went into it with, I managed to survive and beat the first floor of this challenge mode. And it still rewards experience. So
right. I remember chatting with you about this now.
And I found out later as well that if you beat something higher level, you also get a boost to the experience. And I had my experience boosting equipment on one of my characters. So I had all these factors on, beat that like first floor, and then all my characters were basically jumped to end game, post game levels.
Holy shit!
Because they were like they went from like 38, 39 to 52, 54. I think my highest level character is like 61 right now, and I think the final boss is like 55. So I was not at the end of the game yet, and so at that point I just went into fights and I clicked just auto attack, like just speed through it, and they just went boom 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 done. fights that were supposed to be difficult just did not faze me, and I was just like, I did not mean to do this. I just made this game easy mode by pure happenstance.
Man, if only Final Fantasy Tactics would do that.
And so that's a little bit of my issue with those missions, is because I ended up power leveled. I flew through so much of the game that they didn't have time to just kind of accumulate while I was playing the game naturally. So that's the only reason I haven't.
Being too strong.
That's the only reason I haven't properly finished Eiyuden Chronicles. But yeah, I basically played that entire game through. It's a really fun game. Really enjoyed it. And it did remind me how much I love just the classic turn-based RPG experience. And so yeah, it brought me to the fact, like, I wanted to play E33, still need to finish E33. But it reminded me how much I enjoyed that. But it also reminded me of another series that I was really working on, and that's the Kiseki Legend of Heroes Trails series. And
boy, here we go. Speaking of a 30-hour conversation.
And so I've recently started trying. I recently started trying to get back to finishing those. Because I was on Azure, which is the second game in the Crossbell section of the series, and was just right at the start of it. And so I went back to start playing it, and I finished chapter 1 the other day. Before I would be further, but somebody in this call decided they were going to play P5X and then get me on that.
I thought for certain you were going to say until somebody decided they took an interest in V Rising. Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
So this is actually skipping the V Rising section, so I'll kind of come back around to that of the year. So, but yeah, so I was just like, oh man, I really love these classical turn-based RPGs. They're like, I really enjoy these games. They're so much fun. And I went and picked up E33, and I'm like, I want to play it. And so I'm like, I need to play this. I want to play this. I want to finish it. And I did. I was playing it. I progressed it. I enjoyed it. It's very fun.
Yeah.
But it's where I realized it doesn't quite hit that same like box as like Eiyuden, as like a traditional turn-based RPG, because there is an active element to the way the game flows. So I can't kind of lean back, chillax, and brain off I do an RPG game. Yeah, because I mean, like, once you know what your characters do in an RPG, you can kind of brain off. You know how to handle enemies, how to do this, and et cetera and so forth. And I have to actually like focus to try and get those parries and stuff in. So it didn't like it. Not saying E33 is a bad game. E33 is an amazing game, as we have established. It just wasn't hitting that what I wanted.
It didn't hit the brain off RPG that you were looking for.
Yeah, it just something wasn't meshing. And so I'm like, all right, well, is there something else I can do? And then this was brought to me because a friend of ours, Aqua, started streaming over on YouTube, Aqua no Kiseki. Shout out to our boy. He is he is streaming a marathon of this series from the first one all the way through before the next game in that series comes out, which is
like the 30th installment into the franchise or some shit like that.
It's actually a remake.
Well, no, not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
He's doing it to the next one in the Kai.
Okay.
Which is in February, I think, or January. So it's 3, 5, 9, 10. It's the 13th game. To Dalet's point, yeah, the next game that comes out is actually a remake of the very first game in 3D.
Okay.
And that's in September.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but so he started that right around the same time I was doing this, and I'm like, oh man, that's right. I need to get on this series because I love this series. I think it's really fun. I own a good chunk of it, and I want to play them. I want to do it. They're just they're long games, and I wasn't
very long games.
I wasn't available at a point in time, but now I'm just like, I have time. I should do it. And so I picked up Azure, and I finished chapter 1, and then the Steam Summer Sale is ongoing as of this episode's recording, broadcast.
I am unimpressed.
The Summer Sale.
But it's probably because a lot of the games I have on my list are already, they're not very expensive games. Yeah. So their sales aren't ever going to be very much.
Right.
Except for a certain game that Matt and I both bought.
Oh yeah, SMT5 was on a great sale. Yeah, that's one of the games I picked up. I picked up a lot of games this summer sale, to be fair. It wasn't a great one. It wasn't an impressive summer sale by any means, but I had the ability, so I picked up quite a few games. I picked up literally every Kiseki game I didn't have. So I now own the entire series. And so I'm like, that's even more reason I need to play this game. I need to play this series. I own them all at this point. And if I can actually manage to catch up before January, which isn't going to happen. I'm not going to finish 14, not 14, it's too many. There's like 13 in the series. I've played 3. I'm not going to finish 10 games before January. This is just not happening. But I can start picking them up as they come out, which would be cool. But yeah, I'm working on that sort of as soon as, I'm freed from these games that Nat has forced upon me.
What? I didn't do anything.
I also picked up SMT5, like Nat said. I picked up P5R.
You picked up
on my
sorry,
PC.
Sorry, real quick. You bought the digital stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I got Vengeance. I got Royal because I was playing P5X. I was like, I kind of want to play P5. I'm not going to.
It does that to you. I hate it.
And I'm like, I don't own P5 on my PC, so I picked up Royal. I picked up Hogwarts Legacy because of the people in my family that play video games, I'm the only one that hasn't played Hogwarts Legacy, and I've wanted to, so I picked that up. Like I said, I picked up the rest of the Kiseki series.
Matt.
Picked up the rest of the Kiseki games I was missing. I picked up Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, which is technically a loose prequel to 100 Heroes, but it's not directly related. Don't worry about it. I picked up The Outer Worlds because I've watched a lot of people play it, and I never actually got to play it myself, so I went ahead and picked that up. Yeah. I picked up Witcher 2 because it was the only Witcher game I didn't have.
Good game.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Witcher 2. It's an okay game.
It's an okay game. I surprisingly didn't own Witcher 2, but I own Witcher 1 and Witcher 3 on Steam, so I was just like, it's $2. So yeah, let me grab that as well.
Yeah, I was literally going to say you probably like the first 1 and 3 for like a 90% off fucking deal.
Yeah,
because all those Witcher games just go on.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I pick up? I picked up. I now own every Resident Evil.
Hey, congrats! Except for 9.
Except for 9 because it's not how.
And probably Code Veronica.
Well, yeah, Code Veronica because they refuse to release that anywhere else. They refuse to remaster it. It's my favorite Resident Evil, and they refuse to give us any form of it anymore.
Ridiculous. Fucking Capcom, man. They just make some weird They make some weird decisions for what goes on PC and ports and all that shit.
Yeah.
I know they said it wasn't, but I don't believe them.
I don't either. This wasn't part of the summer sale, I guess, because it no longer says new game on it in my Steam library. But I picked up all the Digimon games that are on Steam that I didn't have.
What the fuck? Okay.
You mean all the Digimon games that are on? Isn't that like a fuck ton of games?
There's 3.
There's only 3, but
that is
quite a few.
So much less than I expected.
I know, I made it sound like so much more. No, it's 3. It's New Order, Survive, and the Cyber Sleuth thing.
Yeah. Hey, at least it's more than Pokemon, so.
I did it mostly because the future whatever is coming out. And if I got a chance beforehand, I was thinking I might play one of them. I'm not, but now I have them. So when I do want to play them, boom. Cyber Sleuth,
Right.
Cyber Sleuth is a really fun game. I don't know about New Order, and Survive is interesting, and I really want to play that because it's different.
Did you get Rydell?
I have not picked up Rydell, no, because it was brand new. It wasn't on sale.
Yeah, true.
So I didn't pick that.
Actually, the way that's supposed to be pronounced, I just assumed that was wrong. If I'm honest,
What, Rydell?
I think
I've been calling him Raydo. Sorry, Rydell. Rydell.
I mean, I am probably saying it with an American accent or just American way of saying it.
I
But
believe
is like,
it would be pronounced. I'm trying to remember my Japanese lessons.
Because it's not going to be
Raido. I think.
Yeah, Rydell.
Yeah, I think
instead of like Rydo.
So yeah, especially because I was like, I've been calling him Rydell. Am I just wrong? Because I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong.
Rydell.
I'm pretty sure it's Raido.
Rydell.
But yeah,
Raiden.
So yeah,
Raiden.
Future Stranger. That's what it's called. Future Stranger.
Shut off the console now, Raiden. It's all fake.
Yes,
but yes, because I was super looking forward to Future Stranger, still am. So I got those as well. Apparently not a part of the Steam sale. That was just a recent purchase beforehand, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, to circle back to Dalit was mentioned. Yeah, also another game that took up a lot of time this year, and another one of the games that distracted me from E33. Excuse me, was V Rising, because it had its 1.1 update. And its 1.1 update is sick. I
like that game.
V Rising is...
See, we knew you would.
Yeah, we told you. V Rising is so much fun. I think I talked about this in our Game of the Year episode, because I talked about V Rising then as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I played V Rising a lot when it very, very first came out on Steam on early access. I played it a crap ton there, and I think its first big update, I played it a crap ton there. Then its next update was Gloomrot, and I wanted to play it, but I didn't, and I think I didn't really play it much until its 1.0 update, where I started to kind of try things out and play it, but I just never, time wouldn't allow me. And come back around to 1.1, and a buddy of mine, back from when I played Counterside, my guild leader, became a good friend of mine, Med, and me, he started playing it back around Gloomrot, and then at 1.0 he was like, hey, let's do a duo run. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Time was terrible, and we never really got to do much in it, so I was like, hey, you want to try it again with 1.1? And I'm like, yes, let's do it, let's make it happen. And we did, we did a full run. We went all the way up to Dracula. We beat Dracula, and it was a blast. I had a blast. And
nice.
this was right around the end of when Nat was getting his computer fixed. And so Nat was getting his computer fixed, just got his computer fixed. We were wrapping up that playthrough, and Nat was like, hey, me and Jesse are going to do it. You want to join with us? And I'm like, yeah, definitely. I'm happy to play some more of it. And then Nat put forth the idea of, what about if we do a server? And so I looked into a server for us, and we looked at it. And so, yeah, we ended up deciding we're going to do a server. So we made a V Rising server, and 3 of us started playing. Then I invited Med and another friend of mine and his over into it. Then out of nowhere, we were sitting in a call, and we were sitting in a call.
It's out of nowhere.
We were sitting in a call, and I mentioned I've been playing V Rising because it was me, Dalit, and Aqua, I think, sitting in a call, and I was talking with Aqua about playing V Rising, and I don't remember what Dalit said, and I was just like, yeah, I think you'd like it. And Dalit said, yeah, I probably would. I just haven't picked it up. And I went, oh, really? And so I just
oh, really?
So just moused over to the other monitor where Steam was.
First of all,
he
lies. He didn't say shit. The only thing he said was, hey, look at your Steam when you get a chance. Because I think I was busy at the time. I was like, all right, give me a second, blah, blah, blah. Finish what I'm talking, turn around. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I'm
so many people have done that to me over the years, especially like
I've been one of them.
Yeah, especially
Seaver's
like
done a lot.
Yeah, Seaver's done a lot. I mean, both of you know like some of the difficulties I had at the end of the 2010s, that like me and my family and stuff went through. And through the course of that and over the years, people have done that a lot to me, and I'm really thankful to all of my friends for it. I have amazing friends that I'm truly blessed with. Love you guys. You two here and all the ones out there. But finally being the one to be able to do that to somebody, man, it feels good. I see why people do it now. It feels nice.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh man, this feels good. I like doing nice things for people.
It does, in fact, feel pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So I I bought it for Dalit. And Dalit was all right. So Dalit started playing it, and then me and Dalit were sitting in a call playing because Dalit had just made his character on the server, and it was me, him, I think it was our friends Allie and Shell. Yeah,
that checks out.
Yeah, we were sitting in a call, and Allie has the game because Allie played with us way back when, and played with me when when we first played, way back when. And Allie was, she was waiting. I think she was like waiting for one of the games she's playing now to come out or something like that, or she was taking a break from one of them or something. And we were sitting there playing it, and she was like, "All right, I'll hop on as well." And I gave her the information. She joined the server, and then Shell was just like, "Well, I'm the only one not playing it, and the game's not an expensive game. Hey, listeners, the game is not an expensive game. You should go buy this game, support an amazing studio, and go play this game."
Yeah, DLC is also exclusively cosmetic. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, that they have retroactively updated before without changing the price or anything, and you get it. It's awesome. And so he was like, all right, and so he picked it up. We gave him the information. He came over and played, and so we have the server with just a bunch of friends, and it's been a blast. V Rising is really fun. I think on the server, the ones with the most game time is probably me and Med, because me and him ended up me and him basically duoed the game a second time after we just finished it, and then he went and worked on his castle design, building this really cool for you guys in the server. When y'all get to the point that y'all unlock bat form and y'all can actually like fly up and stuff, y'all should go over by his castle and fly up so you can actually get a good like look at it. He made this really cool like floating castle design. It looks like the castle's kind of floating there. It's really cool.
Nice.
It was castle like twice, and I've been like, how the fuck does any of this work? Matt has told me both times, yeah, you'll figure it out when you can fly. It's like, okay. Okay.
It's really, really cool. I really dig what he did. It's cool. And like just some of the inside stuff is also really cool. And I've started slowly work on decorating mine, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna farm I'm just gonna give me a copy of every legendary weapon.
Right. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, and it was even to the point that I had 3 already. I had my claws, my axes, and my slashers, which are like the bladed tonfa weapons. And Shell was I had put my axes down in one of my chests, and Shell was doing something and said, "Matt, I'm borrowing your axes." And I'm like, okay. And he was like, "I really like these axes." And I was just kind of like, okay, keep them. And I went and farmed my own another pair. I think I'm only missing 2 legendary weapons at this point, which I could probably get in like 45 minutes of playing. I just haven't got back on to finish them.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's at this point I think I have the most time period on the server, because I've spent a lot of time just farming those, just joking around, getting collecting servants for the castle and blood types. I think I have all of the combat blood types except one at 100% in my castle now. So yeah, it's put a lot of time into V Rising. I really like V Rising. It's very, very fun. I think my total game time in the game now is over 200 hours, which which that's a lot of hours.
It is.
You don't ask Med how many hours he has in V Rising.
I don't know.
Yeah, just a couple thousand.
Yeah, he's played a lot of V Rising. It's a great game. Love V Rising. Played that a crap ton. And the only thing that I have played that I haven't mentioned is Shadowverse, the Cygames card game. They released
He has been playing this.
a new version of that called Worlds Beyond, which they added a few extra things to it, like a few extra rules from the base Shadowverse, and basically made it like a fresh start, so it's a little bit new player friendly, because that's one of the things for a long running card game that you run into issues with, is new players have a hard time getting into it because they don't have the collection to really build the decks to be able to compete online, even in a free play setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they basically made a fresh start for players. And while I had a lot of stuff in the original Shadowverse, I was like, I'm all about doing this fresh start thing. Why not? Let's do it. So I've been playing that. It was cool. It's cool. Right now I don't really play too much. I log on every day for my free card pack, because you get a free pack of cards every day. So I log on, I open my free card pack, say, hey, did I get anything interesting? I've had a lot of great luck with those card packs the last couple of days, mind you.
Yeah.
I'm working on completing my collection for the one set that's in the game right now. I'm very close. I think I need 24 more cards. But yeah, I remember what I was doing at the beginning of the year. I was playing Grand Blue, like just actual Grand Blue, the gacha game. Because
man, I remember at the beginning of last year when we were all playing Grand Blue.
That was a great time. That was so much fun.
Was that last year? That was last year.
Right? That was last year.
Thank goodness. I needed that to not be further away than
that was last year. Don't worry.
Oh.
I mean, hey, because, if you want to feel old, remember, we've known each other for 10 years now.
I am crumbling to dust as we speak.
Because
I was playing.
You mentioned that Grand Blue's anniversary was like the end of the year, or the start of the year.
Yeah, it's at the start of the year, February or March. I don't remember which. Yeah, and like I was, and then also January this year was Guild Wars, and I was like actively playing at the time. And
you were.
He was doing his duty.
Yeah, like if you go to my VOD channel on YouTube for my streams, I think my last stream was a Grand Blue. Actually, I can pull this up while we're talking. But yeah, it was. That's what I was doing a lot at the beginning of the year. Now I'm thinking about that. Which
were there any exciting gets?
Yeah, my last stream was a Guild Wars for Grand Blue. Let me think.
Surely you were working towards something.
Well, it was more I was anticipating something, and I was working towards being ready to get that. And then it turns out that didn't happen. That's not the new. I was expecting, because at this point in time, or at that point in time rather, we had all of the Archangel units that gave because there's an Angel unit, Archangel unit for each element that gives a boost essentially to that element's weapon skills.
Yes.
And at that point, like the month beforehand, coming into anniversary, let's put it that way, all except one element had received their Archangel in their boost, and I was just like, all right, so this anniversary we're probably going to get that Archangel finally, that for Dark, whoever it ends up being. It's really only two possibilities, and one of them I don't foresee being a character anytime soon, so I'm thinking it's only one. Regardless, I was getting it, whoever it was. And So I was kind of prepping, getting ready for that. And I was also just, in general prepping to summon and, fill out my collection. Because they have like 2 limited pools of characters. They have Premium Gala and Flash Gala, which happen every month, middle of the month and end of the month. And I have a lot of the Premium Gala characters. Don't have a lot of the Flash Gala characters. So I was preparing to try and fill out my roster with some of those Flash Gala units. And hoping that the new Archangel would be on Flash. No new Archangel came. The new unit that did come, he's cool. I don't really use him. I got him. Wasn't trying to get him, but I got him. But he's cool. The big thing I think I got is I got Cosmos, because I really liked Cosmos, and so I finally picked up Cosmos. She's cool. And made my light team even better, because I like my light team.
Light team, dark team's better.
Dark team is probably my second best team. Actually, my dark team is probably my better
Dirt
team.
Gaming, let's go.
Yeah, I get quite a few things during anniversary. Thinking back on it, but it was kind of picking up things that were already existing for the most part. There was no like new things that came out that I was shooting for, but immediately after. Or actually, it was more towards the end of anniversary because I had already done all my summoning at that point. Done all my summoning, all this was done, and I was like, all right, how much resources do I have left? I have enough, and I finally recruited all of the Eternals. So I have all of the Eternals, which was really cool, which is something I've always wanted to do since I've learned about them. I'm like, yeah, now I finally have all of them. It's really cool. Now it's the very long and tedious process of upgrading all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing that a bunch back at the beginning of the year. Because, I play too many gacha games. I have Wuwa and Star Rail are my main 2. I do my dailies on ZZZ, play it a little bit here and there. It's fun. Grand Blue, I play as I want. Somebody told me Shadowverse is considered a gacha. Card games are gacha, so I play Shadowverse.
I mean, card games do. I see how they get there. Card games did influence like the concept.
Yeah,
but I don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't argue with them on it.
Right.
Because it was funny. They messaged me. See, you're playing another gacha game, and I'm like, wait, do you consider card games a gacha game? And
I think it was in the call when you got that message.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, you consider card games a gacha game? Okay. Sure, I guess I'm playing another gacha game. But yeah, then Grand Blue, that P5X now. Thanks, Nat.
You're welcome.
And PGR. I play PGR on and off, like just when I feel like playing it. And then next month is the DMC collab, and I've been kind of playing it a little bit the last couple weeks just to hoard up some resources. And I have no fears about getting Virgil and Dante. Well, Dante's free, but I have no fears about getting Virgil. I have enough to guarantee.
Yeah.
Now, getting his weapon is a different story. Because unlike Wuthering Waves, the weapon banner in PGR is not 100%. It's 80%.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
I have lost my last 2 80% in PGR. So I really hope I'm able to get Yamato, but we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, and then plenty of games I need to play and want to play. I just picked up all those games on the Steam sale. I'm playing so many games now. I like I said when I started, like I think, somehow just having a steady job and not having to worry about so much because of it has freed up a lot of worry on my shoulders to the point where I'm actually feeling relaxed enough to play games. Now it's just a matter of finding the time to play the games, but I'm relaxed enough to play games. So I'm playing a lot of games. I have a lot of games I want to play. Heck, yesterday Mecha Break officially came out, and I know
Sure did.
I know I want to play that. So I'm going to play that at some point. I don't know if soon, but I'm going to play that at some point. But yeah, that's everything I've been up to, and I guess that kind of wraps it up for all of us because we've all kind of been through it all. I mean, I've obviously, I played a lot of the things that y'all talked about as well, which is where most of my commentary came from. So,
yeah. Is that it? Yeah, I guess Last Epoch was last year.
Last Epoch came out beginning of last year, I guess. Technically, on that vein. Oh, there was another thing I did play this year. I forgot about. I think it was like December last year. Path of Exile 2 went into its early access.
Yeah.
Started playing that. I know Dalit played it as well when he had a little bit of time in his super busy time. I remember talking to him about it briefly. Never did get your full thoughts on it, I don't think, but we'll save that for like an actual episode dedicated to it, I think. Because
for sure.
Because we definitely talked about a lot of that in a previous episode on season 1, so I think that'd be cool. So, listeners, look forward to that. But yeah, Path of Exile 2, I played that. And I also played Ashes of Creation. I bought myself into the alpha for that.
Yeah.
And
no, we definitely spoke about that. No,
yeah,
we definitely spoke about that.
Yeah.
I remember your feelings on it, actually.
I really like the idea of it. I think it's really cool. I enjoyed what the little bit I have played of it. I haven't played it a whole lot. I mostly was very interested in it and wasn't sold on buying into it, but then my cousin was like, "Hey, I'm buying this game to try out called Ashes of Creation. You heard anything about it?" And I'm like, "Shoot, I've been watching this game for like 3 months now, and I'm super interested." I'm like, "You just bought it? You just bought it to play it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, I'll buy it too, so I can play with you." Actually, haven't had a chance to play with him, but I have played it. I enjoyed it. The class I really want to play isn't in the alpha test yet. I think it comes out in the next phase of the alpha test. But I did play... So I mostly played on the Rogue, which was what was added in the most recent alpha test phase. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's interesting. I think it has a lot of potential. I think the one thing I came across that I didn't really like was the Rogue has a really cool skill where you can flip over the enemy. I think, Nat, I was telling you about this one time. You can flip over the enemy to reposition yourself behind them because, Rogue, behind the enemy, backstab bonus, blah, 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 blah. And you can, snare them so they can't, turn to face you for a second so you can flip behind them and get a back hit in, right? It's really, really cool. And it looks cool when you do it. The issue is the camera doesn't readjust automatically when you do it. So you'll snare flip, and unless you manually twist the camera around while that's happening, you'll land on the other side facing away from the enemy. And so none of your basic attacks will land until you spin your character back around. And I'm just like, surely you can make it to where the camera auto adjusts when you do that, because it doesn't feel good doing the flip and then having to adjust the camera in the process of the flip.
Right.
It just doesn't feel good. That's the only thing I really had equipped with, because it looks really cool. It's really fun, but that whole little process just didn't feel great. But maybe that's part of it. You need to develop the muscle skill to be able to do it or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Imagine having to flick in an MMO.
Yeah, or the devs can just not be lazy and fucking fix it.
Who knows?
They called out devs.
But no, I liked it. I think it's fun. I like the idea of it. I think it has a lot of potential. So I do look forward to seeing where it goes. And I've paid into the alpha already. I'm at any point I can pick up and play in the alpha. basic alpha, beta, everything up until launch. Essentially, I'm able to play if I want. So at any time, and yeah, it's fun. It's cool. I think people should keep an eye on that for the future. I don't think buy into it unless you're super sold on it and have like properly researched it. But definitely keep an eye out for when it comes out, because I think it looks pretty good, and it might make an impact. I'm maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been a very long catch up. But
it's only like 4.5 hours. Technically, on three and a half.
3 hours. It's been about 3 hours if we take out pre-show and whatnot. It's a really long first episode. We do ramble on for a long time. We don't mean to keep y'all here that long. We apologize, listeners. But at this point, even though this is episode,
why are you apologizing? They know what they came in for.
Yeah, as I say, at this point, y'all know what y'all came into. There's a whole season of this. We yap incessantly.
Yep.
We like video games, and honestly, we're just excited to be back, right, guys?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm tired. Like, I'm literally about to excited to be back.
Here, save me.
What?
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, really? Is that how you feel? Okay. You know what? Since I can't say I'm going to see you in August anymore, I'm just going to make an extra trip out to California.
Well, crap. I'm in danger.
I have this power now. It's called money.
Money.
Bro just hit me with a Kaiba line. Oh
no. Fucking love Kaiba.
But listeners, as you can tell, we are very glad to be back, and we hope you are looking forward to season 2. Remember, we stream live on Wednesdays, our episodes now, but they are uploaded on Mondays, as they always have been. And it's good to be back. Let's get into it next time, guys. We got so many video games, so many things we can talk about, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna yap. We're gonna be here, and we hope you'll be here with us for the ride and for the fun. But as always, listeners, thank you for listening, and pass it around. That's the best thing you can do. Tell your friends about us. We, all the eyes and ears, it's appreciated. Word of mouth is great. But we appreciate y'all.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yep, we will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
I'm going to pass out now.